Yo, what up, people? It's time. It is time. Yo, what up? Yeah.
Let's go. We're on.
Yeah, let's go. W's in the chat.
W's
in the chat. Niggas, come on, guys. You guys, I'm wearing a suit, man. What's wrong? Put some respect on this suit, man. Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Yo, man. Yeah, I'm thinking your W, not Nate Engineering, Angore. You guys, Victor again, RK. Comment section itakuwa moto. It's because of this suit, man. You guys wore this suit in your honor, my guy.
It looks good. It looks good. You know, I don't think the screen shows it. It's actually.
It's not even doing freaking
justice, man.
Nah. To this motherfucking suit. You guys, should I say motherfucking? You guys, are you allowed to hang out together while saying motherfucking, my guy?
It's usual. How many people have built podcasts like this?
You're not gonna be cancelled for hanging out with guys saying motherfucking.
I think if you build something of this magnitude, you're allowed to say whatever.
Oh, for real?
It's yours.
It's a motherfucking suit, people. Come on, man. Yo, man. Anyway, let me put in the intro music.
Yeah.
You'll hear it in post. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Kishingani podcast. And today I'm hanging out with this brother. I've been looking for him for a minute now.
Yeah.
But I normally say that today is the day.
It is.
Like the day when it happens was supposed to be the day, man.
This actually is the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the one, the only Mr. Kasmuel McOure.
Let's go.
You guy, karibu sana, my brother. You guy, do you have any don't look good days, bro, you guy?
Yeah, for sure.
But
it's always a suit. It's either a suit or a birthday suit.
I want to do a sketch about you, bro.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
You guys would karanga me.
Thought I'll do it after this, bro.
Afraid, man. I might just, hey,
Like
shit.
so in the sketch, you guys, you'll be in a suit all the time, bro. Huh? Yeah, you'll wake up in the suit.
Hey,
Huh? Yeah, you'll go to shower in the
all
suit,
of it,
guy.
man.
So when did you start being this dapper, man?
No, me, I grew up with like, we were poor. But then it's always like a contradiction.
Okay.
So you're not at the poor. Those ones for all of us have accepted you're poor.
Okay.
We're poor, but you're living in Karen.
House poor.
That's what I'm saying. Like dirt poor. I'll show you like the house we used to live in, like a tin house. But you see, it's in Karen.
Yeah.
So like you can't. People can't quite see it because when you hear Karen, you think it's whatever. And then
It was a tin house, but the compound was lush.
No. The thing, we used to live close to the Defense Staff College. So there's a place in Westwood.
Okay.
The CBK governor of the time used to live there. It had the who's and who's, and then at the very end it's a barrack. But then there's a little settlement for the casual laborers.
All right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't on your own. It was with other.
It's like a tiny, none of the plot where the wafanyikazi work.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
the Kijiji.
Yeah.
The tin house at the end, a blue one.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so again, now you're growing up with these kinds of contradictions. Again, also I was smart. My dad used to have a bookshop. He used to work with Jomo Kenyatta Foundation, and then he lost his job.
Oh, okay.
So I was immersed in books, and I was doing rather well in school.
You'd bring them home.
Yeah. He'd bring kukula stock, kusoma, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Then, I think now with time, now you're amassing all this. I'm behind the trends with other kids, so I'm not wearing trendy clothes and whatever. But I really wanted to look nice.
Well, you hung out with the local kid, like the Karenites.
No, with the Karenites. The Karenites were there.
No, so they're kids.
The
kids don't know who's who. They just hang out with.
But how do you get to the compounds?
Okay.
It's only every once in a while when, maybe there's a big bash or whatever. They don't cross over to the Kijiji.
All right.
Yeah, so you go on with that. And then, of course, now primary school, I was bouncing around. I was in Nairobi, then we moved to Nax, then post-election happened. We moved to Ravine, then to...
Ravine?
Yeah.
Oh.
And some place in Rongo. Then we went to Magadi Soda. Then we went to...
Your dad was moving around because of what?
No, it was PEV at the time. 2007, 2008.
Okay.
It was during post-election. So that when that happens, now we moved around. Now high school is when now it becomes definitive. Because when you're a kid, you don't care much about class and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then, now when you get to high school, so I admitted to Alliance, you start seeing the who's who, and now you're getting to have a feel of what this is what wealth looks like. Again, it's also a very liberal school.
Okay.
You see, you're typically, because now I was children and now into Maranda. Maranda is a great equalizer. All of you shave, whether you're the child of a minister or whatever.
Wait.
All of you don't have,
Where were you before you went to Alliance?
Yeah.
Which primary school were you in?
Some school in Nax called Carroll Academy. But I'd gone to a bunch. That's why I wrote my KCP.
Oh, okay. You'd gone to a bunch of schools in
I went
Knox.
to a bunch of schools in Kenya because I went to Our Lady of Peace here in Karen. Then I went to St. John's in Nax.
What did that do for your net? Because I had a similar bringing, but not as
Yeah.
chaotic in terms of
I think
many schools.
you become tribeless, or you become landless is what I would call it. But then you don't have a sense of identity.
But also the connections are fickle.
Yes. So you're a butterfly. You can't form like deep, lasting friendships. Because even myself, the only friends I would say maybe from childhood would be my guys from Kisumu. Because now we lived in Kisumu from 2009.
Okay.
And then now solidified that into high school, and then now came back to Nairobi for uni.
Oh.
But before then, it's just you can't quite because you're a Toi. You've left my current friends now.
Yeah.
It's gone. Your Nax friends. You forget about them. But then every once in a while, they pop up. So
yeah, because most of the time I bump into some of those friends. They
Yeah.
just like, hey, what's up? And then they bounce.
Yeah.
But me, personally, I
Yeah.
was keeping the relationships. I'm like, when I go back to Nai, I'll see my friend Kenneth.
Right.
But when I come back to Nai, Kenneth just salamias me and bounces.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's up,
You're
man?
You're the only one who's...
We're tight, bro. Come on, Kenneth. So I feel like I got some trauma from that.
Yeah, I mean, I would think about it that way because you're stuck in a point in time. You think the relationship is special, but then everyone's moving.
Yeah.
And then also now when you come back to Nai, you realize Nai is hella expensive because you just can't go somewhere. Yeah, you just can't go.
But despite the moving around, you got the grades to go to Alliance.
Yes, no. Consistently, I had the grades.
Okay.
So the grades were never in question. The money, something else, but the grades.
Were you naturally adept to studies, or it was just
I think so. Yes, but also as a coping mechanism, because you have to. I usually believe as a man, you have to be like you need to have something, either the physical strength or the monetary, the power, or just like a mind that's.
You knew that as a kid?
I think so. Like I was reading stuff.
Maybe because your dad also always come through with books.
Yes. So there's that, of course. And again, I was quite interested in like literature and whatnot.
Okay.
So getting those perspectives, and always challenging. I was always seeking.
You're well spoken. Your English was a language in the house?
Not really, but I think it's my mom's. Because my mom now she's a proper speaker. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I see that this is her. She never spoke much. She never did much. She never sat down as much with me as my dad probably did. So I got maybe the mechanics of the thing from my dad. But my mom, now like the vocabulary, the finesse, the beauty, the poise, like the artistic side, it was most definitely from my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it just you? Or your
Even
siblings?
my siblings are not.
How many are you guys?
5.
And you're the?
It's 5, second.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is your elder brother or elder sister?
Yeah, elder brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was he like? Was he like a deputy dad?
No. He was cool. He was calm. He was just my elder brother.
So were you and your brother like the leaders of the rest of the troops?
No, even our last one she's quite something.
Oh, okay.
One time in 2024, as I see her, we're in the same house. There was like something happening, and she's doing chores. And at 4 p.m., I'm opening the news. I'm seeing her. I'm like, hey. All of us are told each other, she had a whole gang in town. So yeah, all of us. My sister who follows me is a chill one.
So everyone is bright, well spoken and stuff.
It's just grace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you leave Nax and go to Alliance.
I leave Nax and then I go to Alliance. It was a bit of a challenge because first, when you go to a school like Bush, you're exposed to so much in the sense that there is so first you start to contend with the subjects that I think affect man. You start to contend with God. You start to contend with relationships. You start to contend with power, because the thing that we don't appreciate so much about Alliance, for example, is that at the core of it is a deeply colonial system, a very well organized and very well preserved colonial system, in the sense that the prefecture was nothing close to what I hear people talk about in these other schools. The prefecture was it was like a proper caste system.
Okay.
The captains were untouchable.
They had power.
Real power. Like I'm telling you, in the sense that someone like a school captain was a mythical figure. You just saw him during assemblies, never said much. He just stood like a designated spot. It was like, the angels and the ark, always just watching, there to be seen, not to be had.
Damn.
Gentle as a dove, goes for street golf with the principal in the morning on Saturdays.
Shite.
You don't even know where he sleeps. He sleeps after everyone, wakes up after everyone. So the school captain is a figure that was always awake.
Okay.
Yeah, so he never switched off. And he's like, I think at the time it was called
a different jackets or same?
Yes,
green?
different sweater. I think it was some light green. I forget it.
Okay.
Some lightish green or olive green or something. Then there's him. It was called the Governor General. Then there's a deputy school captain, who's now was called the president. Him now is if the school captain was the velvet glove, the Nini is the iron fist.
The
deputy school captain is the iron fist.
All right.
So it's like a 5-person structure, which was called the Pentagon. And so the deputy school captain, now him is ruthless, is whatever. You're in for more, now you get in here. Unaambio bana, radius. You need to keep it like a 10-meter radius from this guy.
For real?
Yeah, when you see the deputy school captain. Kwanza at that time, I think our deputy school captain was called Kennedy Ometi. I think it was called Ometi when I was in
What
Form
year
1.
was this?
2011.
Okay.
2011. So yeah, there's that, and then of course there's the dining hall captain. There's like the games captain. There's the entertainment captain. I think those are 5. I'm leaving someone out. Sports captain or something. Now that's a Pentagon. And then now there's like senior prefects who are your house captains, and the environment protocol, whatever.
Okay.
Then there was like a proper punishment parade. So at a designated time, probably 12:30, if my memory serves me right, if you were caught walking in the morning, because you were booked. Like when I tell you it's a proper colonial system, the prefect would just snap from wherever you are, you stand, and now you're booked. You give them your admission number and your house, and at 12:30 you come to the punishment parade. Then, they had to you lose your tie. So you give the prefect your tie. Once you do your punishment, you get your tie back.
So what's the punishment look like? Like a Prusa
So
freaking
you'd be like
tree stump?
the lawn, yes, but now that's like the more extreme. You're cleaning something. You're
kneel down?
Yeah, but on the punishment parade, the humiliation ritual, which I think it was, because when you go to the punishment parade, it's more just the same economics we see with jail and whatnot. Because you only have a shirt, remove your tie, you have to kneel down or you stand. Like it's proper. The prefects are standing at a higher level.
Yeah.
So you're contending with that, and that's coming from fellow students. So it's a proper colonial system, and there's roads you couldn't pass by, like the prefect's room.
Okay.
The prefect's
Oh, you couldn't
room.
pass there?
Yeah, you couldn't pass in front of that. That was like
This thing doesn't teach classism?
It does. That's what I'm telling you. Like it's a proper colonial system, and it was well preserved. Like through the years, the bush tradition that was carried from the Mkoloni, it trickled down to this, because again, now a prefect is a mini god. We used to have, but this one I sort of enjoyed, again, as like a teenager. There's something called the captain's principle. Oh, so the dining hall prefect was called the captain.
Okay.
So that's his moniker, I think. So the school captain is called the governor general, the deputy school captain, the president. The dining hall captain is called the captain. The games captain was called the guru. The entertainment prefect was called the chief.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's proper mafia structure and whatnot. And there was a captain's principle where these guys stand up. Even before you eat, there's a formation in which the prefects walk, and every captain and the junior prefects stand along the houses. We used to sit according to houses, and we had it wasn't a cafeteria, it was table system.
Okay.
So you have a table captain and table
Oh,
servers.
yeah.
Yeah, so every table has like 12 people, so you're giving you a meal and whatnot. And we're just standing there, and you would see him, and we just say, "Asiyekuwepo na lake alipo." The doors are locked if you're not in the dining hall in time.
All right.
Only all the guys who are inside are the guys who eat all the food.
All right.
Used to have crazy stuff.
Could you see, did you have a problem with that?
Definitely. Again, so everybody sort of gets to have a problem with that kind of thing. You either have a problem with it or you aspire to be a part of it.
Okay.
Again, you didn't just become a prefect just because. So you had to be smart, you had to be smart, good graces with the teachers and whatnot. But the baseline is you had to have reached a certain threshold of academic performance. So, man, I hated it because it's scary. So you're in Form 1, and then for the first week, it's called the grace period. Your mistakes will only affect your guardian. So you're given a guardian. And part of the things you need to have, you need to have like a tightest book. So you learn the principles since the school started. You know your lineage when you get in there, like up to whatever generation, depending on how well it was copied down.
Okay.
Like my great grandfather was a guy called George Reru. Then it came down to Kelvin Bhatia, who had many sons. And I was out of Kevin Bhatia's children. I was from Alan McOure, then Alan McOure, myself. Then I think I had many sons, a guy called Kasmuel, which was very funny.
Kasmuel.
There's a guy from Rwanda, Irakoze. I don't know where he is now. I forgot it, man. I don't know if I adopted Oliver. I forgot it, man. I had some kids there.
What is the importance of knowing that lineage?
Again, that's the thing which I'm saying. The preservation of stories.
Okay.
You see, there's something I learned about crows and birds.
Yeah.
The reason why, for example, birds are not as evolved as we are is we have institutional memory.
Okay.
So crows do this thing where if one of them dies, they gather there and they're sitting around and whatever, and they look at it. I think mapping the scenarios and the situation, then they fly away. Then even a crow that wasn't, for example, if it was struck down by something, the message is sort of passed down, such that this bird that might not have been part of that generation sort of knows that this thing is bad.
Yeah.
Most animals that are not humans don't have the benefit of memory. So now when a new generation, for example, of birds comes in, they have to start learning from scratch.
Yeah.
You see, us, we're just building on what guys of the past need.
Yeah.
So that sort of, it sort of just makes you an in-group, and you're bound to a particular code.
Okay.
It's much like what I see these sororities people have, like in the States.
fraternity houses.
The fraternities and fraternity houses and whatnot. So it's one of those things. Again, it was scary because now you see a prefect had so much power. It was unbelievable.
And how about the dad guy? See, there's a guy. He's your dad, right?
Yeah. I mean, the guardian.
Right?
Unless the guy is a prefect.
Okay.
He doesn't have power over like whatever a prefect could do to you.
All right.
So you're bound. Of course, there's laws. You'll find a Busharian typically no sagging your tie, no taking off your sweater if you're going out. Again, there were also freedoms that other high schools didn't have. Other high schools didn't have the privilege, for example, every weekend you can step out and go to the neighboring town.
Yeah.
We used to be allowed to, to leave Bush, go to Kikuyu, and do whatever. I'm seeing you guys talking about volume.
Ongeza sauti. Ahmed, Ahmed, ongeza sauti yako, bra.
Anyways.
Yeah, because the Nini is maxed up.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So you find the guardian can only tell you, because now there's different cadres. At Form 1, there's stuff that you could aspire to. You could want to be the tightest champion. The tightest champion. So the first exam that you do is not even set by teachers in Bush. It was set by that president guy. Remember the deputy school captain I was telling you? Yeah. That's the first exam that you do. And he said, and it's a whole exam, and if you do not pass, you don't get a tie. So in Bush, you don't buy your tie. Your tie is bestowed upon you. Oh. It's vested upon you by the deputy school captain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're a tightest champion, if you're a whatever, now that's when they start identifying the people who are going to be stuff. And I think in Form 2, there's bell ringers. And bell ringers, other schools used to just have like a bell ringer, just one. That's a whole institute. It had like, I don't know, they were like 18 or 20 something, I don't know.
Bell ringers?
Yeah. So every single morning, they have to go and sync the clocks to the school captain's clock to do watch or something.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so you find them. Just find nerds just standing around the junior library, the Grieve library, wako hapo wamesimama in a circle. From every house, I think there was a bell ringer.
Oh, okay.
And then when it's time for a period to end, you go in the 5. So that there's it never rings earlier or later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you in the, did you join the music club?
I did, but I feel like for me, that's the place I could fit in.
Okay.
So as an anti-establishmentarian person, music is a thing that I could do really well. I feel like the thing that would help you survive in such an environment is you have to be really excellent at something
Okay.
or be really smart. Now remember, the school has picked the smartest boys in the country. And at that time, it was very elitist. You're not joking around. You're either the richest or the smartest. So it's picked top 1 in every district. Yeah, top 2 in every county.
Yeah.
Majimbo, I think, cannot come in. But every province. So everybody asks you, how many of you were number 1? Everyone was number 1. How many of you were prefects? Everyone was. So there was nothing special. So now you have to be the first amongst equals.
Okay.
It's not like at the other schools of SG, you'd find out, now this is Kenya 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone was in the newspaper.
How do you start playing instruments by the time you're getting to Bush?
No. I remember I lied. I always wanted to play instruments, but I went for some camp. You know me, I'm an SDA guy. Went for some campori. We call them camporis in Arusha, somewhere, Mwanza actually. And I heard some rhythm, and I remembered it. So I got into the school and faked that I used to play bass drum in primary school. So I faked my way from bass drum now into all these other instruments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Bush?
3 years.
But then, you're answering the question of Dapper. Are we still answering?
Yeah, it still is.
Oh,
so now, of course, now
you're
you're now with that. Now Bush now teaches you the culture.
Okay.
In the sense that trousers must be well pressed, shirts must be well ironed.
It's sort of like the military.
But absolutely, like you used to have assemblies, and assemblies are not just places where the teacher on duty comes to speak. Nah, you stand in houses. You have to be clean every day. You have to have your lines, wembe, ukwenazo got trousers. You have to have a fresh cut. You need to have sweaters that are not or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you stand in your houses, in your admission numbers. It's like a roll call for military.
So it was like a freaking Marine camp.
Proper. Everything in like that order. There used to be even the gongs and whatnot. So there's that uniform thing. Of course, you might not be able to afford that souvenir. We used to have I don't know what it's called, a vest, if I may. That's not a vest, it's a half sweater,
Okay.
a windbreaker or something. That was like very expensive. It was black.
All right.
So we used to call it a jersey, a souvenir jersey. So you have the people who could afford to wear that. And I remember leaving that place. I was like, I want to be really, really dapper. Because again, now you see through your childhood, there's a girl. She's married now. So
Damn!
Fuck you if you see whatever. I don't care.
Shit!
Yeah. Anyways, I went to Katia her.
Yeah.
But it's not in bad faith. I know she'll come across this thing.
Uh-huh.
One time I went to Katia her and to go camp, nimepanga manguo zangu for the week. I'm like, Vivi. So I timed the day I wanted to ask her to be my girlfriend. I put this particular outfit, some stupid looking outfit, come to think of it. And I went to Katia her. And man, akaniambia me, date a guy with you without class or swag.
Some mother row like shit.
I'm telling you. And I remember I said, man, I want to wear good clothes.
Damn,
I'm never wearing, and to me, what good clothes were was suits. I used to look at these old men, old Luo, just Django guys have worn just suits from where the Congolese, La Sapo.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I just want good tailoring. And I said, if the day I'll be able to afford it.
So you're one of those very smart students also then?
Yeah, but you see now in Bush.
You remember even in high school, there were those students who their collars are like,
I was. But now you see, this was everyone. And then you'll realize that it becomes kind of tricky to become, you can't be smart. If somebody has a better collar, you can't iron your way into a good collar. Yeah. So the guys who could afford like the more expensive shirts and whatnot, I got by. I was decent for sure. But I used to say, once now I get the ability to get my, my super number, my tailoring. I was like, I don't care.
We're here now.
Yeah, now we're here.
So where did you go to from? What happened is when you left Bush?
Maranda school. In Bush was crazy because it was a lot. I've been seeing a lot of people needing propaganda. Used it as a propaganda item. In Bush, I was a sumbua. Because I couldn't fit into the establishment. I was in all cases. One time I remember I was given like a suspension because we just told, we used to have something called socials. So we had a sister house. Every quarter we'd have a day where we would hang out with our sister house, girls from Alliance Girls, and then we'd have a joint movie in the evening.
Okay.
So
Did you mix with the chicks?
yes,
Ah.
it's a jam.
Okay.
So the whole point is you katia your chick so that you go and sit together during
Alright.
the movie.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay.
a proper every quarter.
That's dope,
Yeah,
bruh.
to help with maftata. Tell you guys,
Or lack thereof.
I'm telling you, if you left us, me, I would be like a 75cc Bajaj. The amount of paraffin we kunyod in high school, bro.
Shit.
No, it's crazy. But it was just petty offenses. Someone said, "Gee, I stole 100 sandwiches and gee,
You stole
10
100
liters of juice so that I can go and nini with my girlfriends." I was like, shit. I was always in some sort of trouble. We were mates, gee, this mail. This is the time where people used to mark our mails and send them back. And now we wrote a dismail to the school and we sent it with Sijui, bones, mchanga.
You
We
send it
replied.
out, then it comes back.
So it came back when people at Sijui marked, the babes had marked this guy. And we said, no, we're not letting it slide. Rudisha, that side, now we got into trouble. Sijui, you have to go and wash the pigs in Alliance Girls.
So you'd get into trouble.
I was consistently in trouble. Consistently. But I really, really loved music. I used to skive everything. I was very good with the languages and music.
In retrospect, why do you think so? What don't you think they understood?
I was a playful kid. There's spaces which don't fit every child. For a disciplined kid, again, remember, I'm also struggling with the identity because I don't come to terms with the fact that I was poor.
Okay.
There were several scholarships in Bush, for example. Every assembly, somebody comes and says, Isuzu wants to sponsor kids. Equity wants to sponsor kids. Colt Bank wants to sponsor kids. Some random organizations. But I never went to the guidance and counseling department to take a scholarship.
Oh, you never applied?
I thought scholarships were for poor guys. Yeah, so I thought anybody who's sponsored is poor.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, like that just, it sort of took away from the experience because I would have freed up some resources for my parents. I would have had people who I'd be accountable to in terms of like education and whatnot. So I was consistently hiding into that. And I wanted to be cool.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be one of those guys, We used to have some magazine called Insider. And shout out to a babe called Maria Goretti. She was like the Miss Insider for all the years we were in high school.
Oh, okay.
A very, very good friend of mine. And I feel like she's the babe who got me gangster points. She's the babe who made me popular in the girls' schools.
All right.
I was known because I was her friend. And we truly were like really, really close friends. Into music and into class, into technology. She is the one. I need to even call her after this.
Was she in Alliance Girls?
No, she was in Limuru.
Oh, okay.
She was in Limuru Girls.
All right.
And she was really smart, really kind, really pretty. Everybody wanted to be her boyfriend. So guys are wondering, Maze, what's this Form 1? How is this? What's this Form 1 doing with Maria Goretti?
What did you do to...
I don't know. I just made a dry joke. It was some dad joke or something, and we just became friends. I think at the time, the rock was a culture. There's a time for XFM.
Yeah.
The time the whole country were pretending we loved rock. And I think I went with a stone. I was like, oh, I'm listening to soft rock. And I could try. I was 13, man. Excuse it.
Okay,
I allow it. I'm sorry. I'm not proud. Not my finest. I'm not my finest moment.
Mama, yeah. Chachil wapi. So,
Yeah.
So the transition from there,
Yeah.
like what was the straw that broke the camel's back?
I got an indefinite suspension and I missed the indexing exam.
Okay.
But also there was a deputy principal who didn't like me. It was a boarding master. It was a guy called Ndege. Ndege just didn't like me, man. I always in trouble. It's one of those people who picked, and now looking at it in retrospect, like what were adults doing beefing with 14-year-olds? Can you imagine now you wake up, you're like, I'm going to take it.
I'm going to go fix a few kids.
A 15-year-old to show your power.
I think they actually truly feel like they're guiding you in a certain direction.
That was not even guidance. There was guidance, and there's just the kids that were hated. That was just
Or they're bitter.
Yes,
there's that too.
That also could be it.
Because some of those whips were like, oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, like but also I'm actually really glad that I left that school. There's a time. There's just things which I feel like boys shouldn't have gone through. Like this one time, I wanted to be the organist. So the organist is what you would argue was a senior commoner. So again, even the wording, come to think of it, is problematic. So you had the prefects and you had commoners.
Damn.
Yeah. And then now, out of the commoners, now the organist was
Or senior commoner.
Yeah, because we had service every morning, and he's the guy who led the hymns and the whatever. So you have status and whatnot. So I would really want it because I was good at it, but there's someone who's just frankly better, and I think he was more deserving. Is a pal of mine called Leroy. He became that, and we were trying to sort of increase the number of these things. So when he was an organist, I was a pianist. So a pianist is the person who was the school pianist was most likely in pole position for the organist slot. And so one time I was wearing trousers. You could only wear trousers maybe on Wednesday and Sunday, and so part of the perks a senior commoner would have is you could wear trousers every day. You could walk because the school movement was by running. That time I was wearing a trouser, and after the assembly, there's this deputy principal. It's called Mr. Mutali. Mutali he caught me and said, "Kasmuel, come here." Why are you wearing a trouser? And he told me to remove the trousers, bro. I was wearing a red Tommy Hilfiger boxer, bro. And you see, the uniform was horrible because it was a green sweater, blue tie, white shirt, stupid gray socks, and with red in them, and trousers were gray. Now, because nobody knows your boxers, I'm in red Tommy Hilfiger, bro. This guy told me, but not toy.
But why?
Because it was an offense to wear a trouser on a day which was not supposed to. I'm just like, why wouldn't you just...
So he told you to remove it on the spot.
And now, Bush is a massive school. The distance between that administration block to my dorm was at the very least 800 meters. So you have to walk through the whole school. The whole school is a legion. They're walking and they're looking at you in my red Tommy Hilfiger, walking down the main highway, man.
Yeah, man. That chick in Game of Thrones.
Hey,
Take a shame!
I'm walking. Yes,
shame!
Man, I'm walking there with my 1.5 inch. I was bad. It was bad. So I think.
So you actually literally walked like that all the way to your...
I had to walk like that to the dorm, man. Yeah, it does something. Yeah. Of course, now there's the sinister bits where there's the harassment and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I feel like, so it there's, in your journey to becoming a man, finding yourself in such a space, especially if you're conflicted, becomes really difficult. Bush was a complex environment. Deeply complex.
Yeah, so, okay, now you're in this very structured place.
Yeah.
And then you went to which school?
Miranda School.
Was there a big difference?
Absolutely, bro.
But you're only there for a year, right?
Yeah. No, a year and some change because I had to, because I joined at the tail end of the KCSE year. Okay. So I had to finish to do like the last semester and now get into term.
To the last year?
Last term, now into the last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got there, it was a bit more chill. I felt it was more equal because everybody had to shave. We had to shave bald. There was no fuss about...
Okay, do you have a photo?
I have a photo, a video even Nikiwa Great Debaters.
Damn!
It was crazy. I hate it, man. There was this thing. So there's this footage somewhere on the internet where I'm bald.
So it's in Nyanza, right?
Yeah, it's in Nyanza.
Oh, okay. But now, quality of life?
Quality of much, much lower. But the happiness index was much higher. Yeah, because we're equal. The only way you can floss your money is at 4 p.m. where you'll buy bread and maybe soda.
Okay.
But again, you can only eat so much. You're not allowed to have cologne. You're not allowed to have whatever. You see all these excesses that we had in Bush. In Bush, you would live like an outsider. You were allowed to have sophisticated cologne, whatever lotions you had, snacks. There were canteens. There was like a social welfare canteen. The Social Welfare Society had like a chairman, YSWS. That guy was one of the richest people. Even the secretary could make like maybe 15 ngwizi a term. These guys used to...
A student?
Yes, used to sponsor fare. All you needed to do was write your name on list and you'll be sorted out for fare. You go and collect fare. It's like, this
is at Miranda now?
No, it's Alliance still, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Social Welfare.
Social Welfare Society. They have a canteen. The Scouts also have a canteen. They're selling hot dogs. They're selling whatever. Then there's a school canteen, and then you can still go to Kikuyu. Like... those kinds of things.
Yeah.
It had a whole... Bush was a whole... Now you go to Miranda, none of that nonsense is there. All of us are equal. Yeah.
Same haircut.
Yes. Kila mtu umenyolewa. Hivyo
But now
kipara.
you had to do an extra year. Your peers had already graduated. Did you feel something?
Definitely. And that time, people were, when you grow up as a bright kid, watu pia ni kama wanakonga wamekuwekea. Wanangoje uanguke.
Yeah.
So I see my folks' friends now they start whispering, hey, why is he not going to school?
Yeah.
Month 1, month 2, month 3. I was home 5-6 months before I got into Miranda school. So of course now you're there. What are your options? I'm watching telly every single day. I don't want to read because it's frustrating. I feel like I've disappointed my folks. It's supposed to be the exam year. They've done so much. They've paid so much money into Bush, and now I've tupered it away. Yeah, so you get into a lot of just the throes of boyhood.
Yeah.
Pornography, considering drugs. What gives you the whatever dopamine fix.
Yeah.
Now you're out of there, and so when final school showed up, I was happy and grateful.
Oh, okay.
But of course I got my lick back because I did very well, rather well, given my circumstances. And
did you outdo everyone else?
I didn't outdo everybody else.
Like, were you number one?
Kind of.
These other schools are shit.
No. Just, amongst my peers.
Like, I'm now with the real commoners, and I'm gonna rule them.
I've got a lord over them.
Damn.
But not really. I think I got back on my feet. Typically, I feel like students who go through through what I went through, barely make it back to the kind of
yeah. It does something to your self-esteem, man. Fast forward, you already built up your musical genius in
Bush. Yeah,
in Bush.
I was building up Pole Pole, and now when I got to Miranda, I'm now the chief musician because I'm the guy now who understands how all these instruments work. So I got a little fiefdom of my own.
All right.
So I got some influence. That senior commoner status that I was looking for in Bush, I think finally now gets here. And now I get to meet all these beautiful babes from Nyanza.
Damn.
It's now a beautiful night. I'm chilling. I'm the guy who controls the region.
I feel like some of those chicks don't even know they're hot, bro.
It's what
Huh?
It's
like when you go to Rwanda, most of those chicks don't know they're
they're
hot.
just walking around.
Yes,
they're just...
do you know?
Again, now it was just... And now
so you have good memories of Miranda years.
I have absolutely amazing... Miranda years were crazy. I think... Githeri was a thing. Now, the diet was absolutely horrible. So in comparison to Bush, where, for example, breakfast, you knew you were short of bread,
like
chai, and a spread. Sausages. Bread and chai, not bread or... Not chai or uji. Uji and chai were available to you in the morning. There was a snack at break time. There was lunch. There was a snack at 4. And then there was dinner. And now, afterwards, a snack at 9.
Yeah.
Preps used to end at 9. Official waking up time was 6:30.
And before you go and watch Kina BN sing you guys a lullaby. That is the life.
To Miranda, bana, sleeping is like Satano Siku. Waking up is 4 a.m.
Because of the run of the...
Is this the culture?
The drill.
Yeah, it's just the culture.
Like, what do you think of that? There's this guy, I don't remember his name because I went to Kabarak, right?
Yeah.
So this guy who was really bright.
Yeah.
But his structure was not that one of wake up at 4.
Right.
He just used to use his time very effectively.
Yeah.
So if it's prep time, he'll read through the preps.
Yeah.
And then time for sleeping, he'd go sleep.
Yeah.
And then now there's this new situation which you're describing, which is in many schools of Miranda. 4.
Yeah.
Wake up at 4!
At 4.
Go to bed at
11. There's not... And then you see, my argument, even when you see kiddos burning schools, you can't have teenagers underfed and not well rested.
Yeah, true, man.
And they're horny as fuck. And you expect them to run normally. I think it's just unfair.
Yeah.
That's something at the structural level. Human beings who are like that, adults who should have like a full, well-developed mind, they can't function like that.
Yeah, true.
The kids are constantly hungry. The kids are constantly exhausted.
Fatigued.
They're fatigued, yeah. And they're horny. So what do you expect them to do? You've banned sports. You've said they can't participate in music festivals. They can't meet kids of chicks or dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear them now, they're being abused by teachers because that's all they know. If you host girls here, if girls tell you the wild stories that used to happen in their schools, you talk to a chick who went to like G Bush or Loreto or whatever.
Blood.
Whatever. And we used to know them more like, those chicks for over there, they're really horny. If you wanted to get laid as a high schooler, you knew exactly which school. And if you look at the parameters of that school, the diet was horrible, the uniform was shit, there were just a lot of restrictions.
So it creates an upset group of kids.
Absolutely. And what are you going to do with them? They're going to get into a system of unemployment. So you think the A is edible.
Yeah.
Then
you see now the current crop of kids are even less patient.
Yeah. I mean, because we have AI.
That's why they're banning the friggin' school.
And if you think about it, and I feel like I've not fully developed this thought, but much of the godlessness we see is because we have AI now. Kitambo, we used to want to call onto a divine being for us to get answers.
Yeah, true, man.
And that's what God does. I feel like I really like this thing which Jim Carrey says, that God is the name we give to the blanket that we throw over the mystery to give it shape. So for you, it could be, this camera could be whatever. But Kitambo, we didn't have that much information at our disposal. So we used to rely on, that's why mentors were a big thing. Mentors are a big thing for millennials, because our mentor is a guy who
knows the way.
Yeah, he's lived. But now I have AI. Why do I need to pray? Well, I could say, I'm sorry I had unprotected sex. Am I gonna is the girl gonna get pregnant?
Yeah, true.
So typically people used to pray for that. I remember I screwed a chick in class 6, and that whole year I didn't do very well because I was depressed, because I'd read in complementary science that the pregnancy takes 9 months. For 9 months I was depressed.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But I was just like, hey man, I peed. I didn't come. I got by.
You know, it's true, because even before I quit my job at Radio Generation, I asked AI the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Checky, what are the pros and cons of quitting?
Kitambo, you would have to talk to your mom, your dad.
And then you wait for the inner voice.
Yes, and you pray.
Checky, me waiting for the inner voice to tell me. Checky, don't quit.
So now that's the thing which...
Yeah, that's true.
Even with kids. Now, those kids, I can't call them impatient, because they have God in their palms.
Okay.
Yeah. They have a being who'll give them all the answers they want. Doesn't have to be right, but for the first time, nobody's telling them you have to wait to be an adult to understand. A lot of these things which you had to find out the hard way, money mistakes that you made, the kids don't have to make them. Yeah. If you make $1 million, Kitambo, someone will say, I'd buy a car. Now you have somebody, you don't need to get like an expensive hedge fund manager or like a financial investment banker or planner.
Yeah. You just prompt
AI and say, I have $1 million shillings. What's the best way what's the best?
Yeah, that's true. That's a different world.
Of my money, yeah. So the kids are not impatient. The world, the systems evolving rapidly enough to accommodate the kids.
Yeah. No, that's a thought you should develop.
Yeah, man, I haven't.
So Miranda, did you notice that difference of the drilling? So it was drilling more or less.
Yeah. In what sense? The academic?
The academic, the one for wake up at 4 a.m. and go to bed at 11.
So now in Miranda, there were guys. Now there's that raw Django intelligence. I don't know how to describe it, where I might not have the social graces, the whatever. But if Abbott physics says this is Newton's first law
of motion,
this is what it is, man. This is what it's gonna be. Like, they knew it, they could replicate a book. So the guys who are smart over there would reproduce a marking scheme.
Oh.
And it's not, I don't even think it's drilling, it's just, and it's raw. So in Bush, you could sort of finesse it. Though, again, that's why I'm saying both pros and cons of the colonial system. The colonial system would give it some pizzazz. So it would help you organize your intelligence. And Miranda was data. So you find a person who can crunch for you the numbers.
Okay.
But unaniambia nini bwana? Anakata line takupiga bare bwana. Acha upuzi. Like such kinds. So guys were hella smart. I of course was uncomfortable because I also was a kid who liked sleeping a lot. Even like as an adult, I enjoy my sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't play as much. There were not so many options for play in Miranda, because now in Bush you could dabble with sports. You could go to you had a whole array. You had your hockey, you had your volleyball, handball, swimming, table tennis, basketball, all these sports. A chess club, you'd have like a drama, choir and whatnot. But in Miranda it was just either, did we even have rugby?
What did you do with your music fiefdom?
Yeah, so I established the school band. I went for festivals, helped the choir. Now we went for like the national music festivals and whatnot. So that I liked that, but then I felt like it wasn't diverse enough because the music thing I already had understood.
Did you know what you're gonna do after high school? You know the
I
income.
wanted,
You know,
yes,
yeah.
I see what you mean. I wanted to be a lawyer, but I wanted to go to KU all for the wrong reasons because I wanted to reunite with my high school best friend, who I had heard had gone to KU.
All right.
Yeah, and it was a guy who gave me the most precious advice. It's a guy called Leroy Omolo, one of the smartest guys, hands down.
Yeah.
He really smart, got really good grades in high school. Finished 2 years ahead of me, but then now once I came back to Nairobi, I lived with him for a while. In high school now, he used to be one of those guys who would invite me over for midterm. So part of the culture that I got was from him. Owe a great deal to this friend of him. Actually, him and Maria Goretti parented me through high school. They taught me so much about life, and I'm really grateful to them. I don't know how they managed to do that without the envy or jealousy of teenagehood. Yeah, even game and whatnot. It's Leroy who taught me. So I was with him, and we were chilling in his house, and I told him my results are here. I want to be a lawyer, but I thought that law was being administered in the main campus. But apparently, all law schools are in Gara, or what they love to call Parklands.
Okay.
So I said I'm not, but he also told me, you know what? The way I'm seeing you like this music thing, and you're figuring this out. Pick an easy course. Don't do the law because you look like you would drop out of law school. And I actually thought, man, maybe he's not doing this in good faith. But because I took it, he did its advice anyway. I took finance in Took because it's in town, and it's the best decision I ever made. I skipped so many classes.
So it was good advice.
It was precious advice. So now I have a degree that I got at very, very low effort, but I also got to explore my talent as a musician. And make
But
money.
now that you're dabbling in politics, the law thing would have come through.
It still will. If anything, right now I think it's time for me to take an undergrad. I'm toying with the idea of going back to school for an undergrad once I finish my master's.
Maybe now you have the right motivation to stay the course and...
Still not even the right motivation. I'm just doing it for just so that I can say I have a law degree. It's for vanity.
JK, I'm a learned brother, bana. Tokeni hapa bana.
Unasema nini? What are you saying? What are you bonging? Hey, that's actually it. I've never had at TCG all these really altruistic motivations for stuff like academics or whatnot.
So what are you doing in those 2 years? It was school and music?
A lot of music, because I was paying for my fees. Yeah, but I got some really, really nice paying music teaching gigs. At the time, I think I used to charge $3.5 per hour. And I realized like one of the best ways to make money is find wealthy people and impact the lives of their children. People will pay whatever amount if it's going to make their children better.
But how do you find them? I'm a word of mouth.
Yes, word of mouth, but also my talent spoke for itself. So I was in the churches, and then once you get one,
they'd see you there.
Yeah, and I'm actually a very good educator because I taught everywhere. I taught in Turi, I taught in St. Christopher's, I taught at West Nairobi School, I taught in Isula.
Okay.
Like all the big schools, I've taught.
That's after you develop the skill.
But you see, I developed the skill through these teenage years.
So it was already more or less
I was
polished.
already ready. So once I came out of high school, I have a very deep understanding of music.
Okay.
I'm a guru at this point.
Shit!
So, yes,
guru, yeah, we hang out with a freaking guru, nigga.
I'm a proper maestro.
Yeah, man, somebody's saying I should be around.
So, man.
I'm already getting a job, bro.
Hey, now I'm seeing.
Freaking running!
Let's go.
So yeah, man. So so you could afford to pay your fees? Was it too expensive?
No. Fees were. I was paying shit, bro. The whole year we were paying 30,000 bob.
Okay.
So I did it to ensure I had 30 ngwizi for a year. So, you know, I was government sponsored. So you only pay 30 G's for a year. So it's one semester. We had 2 semesters. One semester was 22,000. The last semester was 8 G's, and then accommodation was maybe 3,500 a month. Yeah, so I got in there, and I also had a business which I was very dumb to close down. The reason I call myself Kaskazini is I had a peanut butter company.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been nutting I've been in the business of nuts. I'm seeing guys here.
Where were
being
you
shocked about
sourcing the nuts?
class 6. Kisumu, you guy.
Jege, unkona nuts
Uko
kilo
na-
ngapi? How many tons?
I'm coming.
So you're sourcing them from Kisumu?
Yeah. So after high school, I doubled with chicken business, but for me, it just didn't sit well because I'm a plant-based. I observe a plant-based diet. So I was like, I can't kill the chicken and whatever.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah. But my baby brother now is doing really well with that chicken business.
Oh.
I don't know if he's gonna be president.
Where's he based?
Uko, Nyanza
Yeah,
too.
the other chicken guy.
Yeah. I think chicken is. I should go back to chicken. But
Hizi kuku unajua unaweza fanyia nini wewe? Acha ujinga, wewe ni nani wewe? Toka hapa nani?
Fake. I chickened out of that and I went to like the peanut butter thing. At the time, I was making maybe 25 G's in profit every month.
That's not bad.
But I got embarrassed because I didn't have the logo and because it was peanut butters and it was not. I don't know what I expected. I actually got into a leadership program in second year because of this peanut butter business.
Okay.
But I was so dumb.
Yeah,
that's
the
one of the
mentality
things
at
I
the
would
time.
say. Yeah, because I
How
was
are you
like,
distributing them?
bro, WhatsApp status.
All right.
Yeah, I was used to just post the stuff on my
And
status.
guys were not
Spam
buying
guys.
them.
Well, the other guys are into forever living, aim global,
Yeah,
those
Nini,
pyramid
Tianchi,
schemes.
bruh.
Yes, I was just like, hey, I have
Peanut butter.
peanut butter, and I used to sell them for dirt cheap. The big one was maybe 800, the small one was 400.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How are you crushing the Nini? Was it manual?
Yeah, so I even had my folks help me because my folks knew where the njugu places could be fried and whatever. So they told me, you can go here to this Kibuye market to Kunyuma. Then you go, they zungusha it. Then now you take it, they put for you in a bucket or nylon papers, and you pack.
Oh,
And then you
so it
seal
will
it.
come pre-crushed.
No, so you see, you do the whole thing. You go to the store,
you have
get the
the
groundnuts.
system.
Yes, the whole chain. At the end of the day, now you pack it into plastic.
You got you'd have been
cans.
Mr. Nuts.
I'm telling you.
Fuck, bro.
Now I'm just going nuts.
Shit.
Countries.
Now
that's-
we're here podcasting,
I'm
bro.
just
You guys
saying,
wearing freaking suits. You'd be nutting right now, bro. Come on, man. So, your folks had relocated back to Shags.
Yeah, my folks were at Shags. Relocation.
When you're in Campo.
Yeah, relocating suggests that it was out of self-actualization. I just think it was circumstances just couldn't go badly.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just out of work and whatnot. And we moved now to Kisumu.
Did you become a dependent? A pro? What's the word, bro?
Yeah, I remember when I reached 18, I left home and I said I'm not going back to Kisumu.
But you'd send them cash, like you'd send money back home.
Absolutely. And especially now, you see, I have the gratitude. I'd expected that they would kick me out after my they called it an indefinite suspension in Bush, but it was technically really, really just an expulsion. I thought they were going to kick me out. So I said, every moment from today, I'm going to make my parents proud. Yeah. So we're really, really we're really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with my folks.
Yeah.
Speak with them every day. Whenever
No,
I have
man, shout out
something.
to them.
Kidogo. Yeah, shout out to parents.
So, you're in Nairobi. So you're doing nuts, freaking music and shit. The first time I came
ladies
across
now.
you, you were performing. Obviously, you're a bit more lean.
You were
nowadays.
performing as well.
We are performers. bro.
Yeah.
So you're performing, but you're very. I think you were at Allianz. or
Right.
something.
It
It was a recording.
Yeah.
And you were very.
Yeah.
Like you were in.
Yeah, I always loved it, man.
How long have
Music
you been
just-
performing like that? Because there's that.
By the time and then there's the other
Then
one.
there's that one you're
By the
soaked
time
into
it's
the thing.
2020, I think it was 5 years of now performing on public stages. And then now you see that I'm comfortable with the repertoire. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I could play the thing with my eyes closed. I could play a plethora of instruments and whatnot. And I just loved it. I really, really loved being on stage because it's the one place where, I can be anything. Yeah, and at this point...
But you get into some sort of trance, bro.
It is, and I remember there's a girl I was dating, and she told me that my music face is my sex face.
Damn.
Yeah, but
So she was jealous?
Honestly, I don't know.
When you play music.
Played her as well. Strokes for everybody. The whole there's a thing about performing music that is very otherworldly. I think of the human sensations I've felt, like having a mouthful of food that's just exploding in flavor, an orgasm, going to the gym, just the exhaustion and the rush of the gym, and music. Those ones are, like, for me, very. It's like looking at beautiful art. It's just all the way up there, and I can't explain it. And I can't help it. 'Cause it just.
So they say music is the way to connect to the spiritual world.
I really, really think so, man.
So no.
Yeah, and it's
Like in every culture, in every religion, there's this music. Like the shaman would get into this.
Kabisa music.
musical
Everybody, of course,
trance.
everybody needs that the musical bedrock. Again, also because it supersedes it bypasses the senses. We could disagree on many things. We could disagree politically. We could disagree on religion. We could disagree on money, or even we could be tribal. But a good song is just a good song.
Yeah, true.
A good beat is
You
a
can't
good
say
beat.
I'm not dancing that song because it's jungle.
A good beat is just a good beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the fact that it.
So I'm curious about, was that your performing style from day one? When you
Yeah,
started
always, ever since I was a
faxing with
kid. But
instruments?
even when I was a baby, I used to go to the church choir and be like, whatever. I always just was into it. I was very eccentric as a performer.
All right.
It's just super exciting. I don't know how it happens. I don't articulate it. In fact, I always tell myself before I get to stage, you must remember to remain calm.
All right.
Yeah. Then now I look like I'm calming, but that's whatever.
You guy, man.
Yeah.
So so you developed your music thing, and then there's also the way you look.
Right.
So you have this guy who's in a suit, but he's gone, maze, on the computer.
Again, so the other thing about my performance is I hated how the artist was treated by society. It sort of felt as though the place of the artist is a failed project. The artist is a person who cannot integrate into society, but they've chosen not to succumb to maybe drug abuse, which you realize again is paradoxical. But it's the same way when someone akona dredi, you call them either ras or msani.
Yeah.
It's the same way when you meet a stoner. You think it's we think these things can be conflated, but because I was in the live music performing scene, I hated the fact that when you go to a venue, you're supposed to be hidden with the stuff, despite the fact that that's gonna be like the thing, the highlight of
carrying
the event. However, the food you can't eat from the menu, and there are people who revolutionized that in Nairobi. One of them being a guy called McKinley Mutembi.
Oh yeah, the trumpeter.
The trumpet player. He's one of those people, and there's venues which also kind of just changed the game for artists. Gecko being one of them.
Yeah, shout out to Gecko.
Yeah, shout out to Mateos and Gecko and McKinley and whatnot. In the sense that now artists could eat from the menu. So you'd go to like this big clubs, and you find that you're supposed to eat like that ugali and cabbage.
That's what used to happen.
Yes.
The staff food,
Yes,
more or less.
that ile ya huko nyuma huko. And so I'm like, no, I hated it. And then we were known as people who couldn't keep time. We were known as people who were shabby. All you needed to have was Gio. You could be unkempt as an artist. But I said the piano and the kind of music that I want to yield myself to is a sacred art form. And if anything, there are more drivers. More drivers than pianists. Yet we used to give much more respect to a person who can drive than a person who can play the piano. And I play many instruments. So I said, I want my craft to be respected. And part of that depends on the presentation. So you also have to equip yourself well with like literature, just to understand and have the social graces. And I said, yeah, that's what it's going to be for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I
so,
remember at Churchill too, we also used to eat the staff food.
yes.
fucked.
I'm wondering, man.
And then you had to qualify to eat that food, bruh. Jackie waiting to see if you'll be on the list or you eat that food.
You find some buyer things, some galleys be lumped, even the
Gali
presentation
has
is not
unga
like great.
inside,
Yeah.
you guy. Then after now you start going cracking jokes.
Ish.
Check you shake water oh. Jackie. Sorry, niko na njara, niko fatigued. Ushai.
But man, how
That's
did you
fact,
stay at
though.
it? Because me, the first time I saw you was at Two Grapes. There's this babe now who
That was
introduced
way
me-
before, bruh.
Way before Churchill.
No, as in
Yeah.
Two Grapes was
Oh,
way.
no, of course, that's because my question now would be
Churchill was way
like, how did you stay? Like, what does it look like for a comedian? Because it's infinitely harder, especially in a world where adults, for example, I usually feel like it's rather dumb. It's a dumb thing to be an adult sometimes because someone tells you I can make you laugh, and your first reaction is no, you can't. Like, why would you not accept more happiness?
Yeah.
Like, this is the person who's offering you that. Like, how do you stay as a as a comedian? Why didn't you like decide to pursue accounting or computer packages?
It's innate. It's something you see.
Yeah.
You see, like a musician somewhere would see you perform, then they're like, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
They don't have the skills yet.
Right.
But they have this crazy idea within them that
Yeah.
they can do that.
Yeah.
So I'd seen a couple of comics. I'm like, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
So now, what makes you stay is now the difference between somebody who has the dream and somebody who has the dream and will actualize it, and somebody who's just dreaming but they're not acting on the thing.
But then how did you get the money?
Get the
Because
money
you
for-
see, how do you navigate the money? Because in music, for example, I'd say the cop-out would be, you could teach on the side, or you could perform at a big venue. But like,
No, those years were rough, bruh.
yeah, that's because I'm really curious. Because you stuck to it. By the time I was seeing you at Two Grapes, you had like the stage. You were roasting the hell out of us.
You get me? I was lucky because when I got to Churchill Show, yes, I was not really good
Yeah,
because I was green, right?
Okay.
So I had to grow the craft.
yeah,
But I had favor with some guy there.
yeah.
So he made me a host.
Mm.
So as a host, I had perks. I had at some point I had a salary.
Ah.
Yeah, the other comedians are suffering, bruh. Me, I'm being paid a salo. I'm not eating the shit food anymore. So that kept me for a while. And then as you grow, now gigs start coming in.
Yeah,
So maybe I know you, like
Yeah.
my friend Hamo. Shout out to Hamo.
yeah.
So
Prof.
Hamo, Prof.
Yeah.
We're sort of the same age,
Yeah.
so we vibed.
Okay.
So Prof was killing it. So, but I was really good at knowing how he thinks. So I'd tell him, do this joke, do this joke.
Yeah.
We'd write jokes together.
Right.
So he'd get a gig.
Yeah.
Like he'd get this mega gig. Like
Yeah.
he got this gig with Star Times
Yeah.
where he was being paid like freaking eight mic.
Yeah.
So now I'd get a chunk out of that.
Yeah.
So that's also how you survive.
It needs you.
So you attach yourself more or less to someone you vibe with and someone who's on the up and up.
Yeah.
So whatever that person is doing, you get like they hive off some cash for you.
Right,
So
right.
that's how I survive, right?
Right.
I built a house using that cash for freaking Star Times. We went for so many gigs.
Man.
So the guy you're seeing at Two Grips,
Right.
I'd learned so much from Hamo. I was sort of like his apprentice. Because I was with him. I used to carry his freaking books, bruh.
Yeah.
Check
I
me
remember
carry
'cause
his
Hamo
books.
used to have
And then he'd send
a
me
whole
to the car.
portfolio,
He's
yeah.
forgotten his comb.
Yeah.
Checking me sao comb kwa gari yenu la checking me. Usi we
But that's interesting because
umekuja sana.
the other thing I'd be curious about is in such an unpredictable, because you know the artist's life, it's unpredictable, it's uncertain. Because you're talking about even building a house. How do you navigate the ambitions? Because that's personally a thing I'm struggling with. Because it's sort of, even on this other side in the political, it's sort of, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's no structure.
Okay.
So you're just building. How do you, for example, did you have ambitions for family, for, the building, the regular steps, which Salo guys would tell you, me, I'm taking out a mortgage for 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'm on this loan facility.
Yeah.
But like, how did you?
No, luckily in my previous life before I got into comedy,
Yeah.
I used to do graphic design, right?
Ah, okay.
So and then I was making a lot of money.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So I knew what to do with money.
Ah.
Like I knew even if it's X amount of money, if
Yeah.
you're making say 2M,
Yeah.
I knew if you don't direct this money in this direction, you're just gonna fuck it up.
Right.
So it was sort of like I was rebuilding my
Mm-hmm.
life again from scratch. So I wasn't green in how to direct the
Yeah.
money that was coming towards me.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the time I'm always used to get broke and ask me for money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, man, you're the one who's cool at
You're bringing all the tunes.
you're the one who's cool at most of the money.
Yeah.
What do you mean I lend you money?
Yeah.
So I was lucky with that.
Yeah.
Like I was older, I had more experience.
Right.
And that's how I was able to build myself back. I went through a fucked up time. You know that one of losing everything, you
Yeah.
have to start again from zero.
Yeah.
So when I was getting into comedy, I was building my life back up.
Is this happening in your 20s or is it happening?
No, I was in my 30s, bro. It was 2012.
Right.
There's a movie called 2012, right?
Yes.
Where the world gets
It's just,
fucked.
yes.
You guys, me and my
Armageddon.
friends were fucked in 2012. I think it was prophetic.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Oh,
my friend
man.
Kevo, a couple of friends of mine,
Yeah.
another pal of mine called Steve. You guys, our careers went to shit. You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
were living la vida loca.
Right.
You guys
Yeah,
just
proper.
crumbled down.
Now it's Kusha.
But one thing my dad told me is
Yeah.
you have the knowledge.
Right.
So he said you've lost the things,
Yeah.
but you've been left with the knowledge, so you can rebuild.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing since, bro.
Oh shit! And you're doing a stellar
Yeah,
job.
man, brick by brick.
Yesh. You built this.
Where maze? So,
Yeah.
music imeshika. Next time we bumped to each other was the femicide march.
Right.
You guys dating some feminists. You guys really woke me up early in the morning. you
I'm
guys.
telling you. Which one? Are you talking?
Wake up! We go for the femicide bus. Checking me.
Wait,
So
are
I
you
woke
talking
up and
about the
went down.
2024 one? I'm on the 2020.
Okay, and I'm not hating on the
Five
femicide man. by the
No,
way.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
telling
no,
you guys
no,
a
no,
story.
no.
The first one.
The first one, the one before, the one in March, the big one that happened on like a
the
Sato.
big one.
Just before like the big
So I woke up,
what
Brian went to town.
me as well.
Checking me.
Me as well.
But I plugged in,
I
bruh.
was just like, what was the song? I remember asking a friend of mine. There's a pal of mine who's always in every mandamano I've been to. A babe called Emma Chiruto. Amazing musician.
Also, they have a video. Me and you were dancing.
Yes,
you
we were
playing
dancing actually. Yes. The drum thing. Yeah.
So that's the next time I met you.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we had already met at a comedy gig.
Yeah. I had met at one of.
Who
of
brought
your
you to the
gigs.
comedy
There's a
gigs?
babe I was dating.
Shout out to this babe.
Shout out to her. She's
Showing us
She's a
gigs.
lawyer now, and I see her in mental health.
Okay.
I don't know. I just.
So you just come chill at the comedy.
Yeah, we came to Two Grapes, and I thought it was really, really good. I had never known such a thing happened in Kenya. I'd never seen anyone do crowd work. Actually, I had never consumed comedy as much as I did after Two Grapes.
Okay.
Yeah, after you had a gig, and I didn't know. I was like, are you guys not afraid of roasting guys?
All right.
And like, how is it that everyone just takes it in such good stride?
Yeah, they love
and
it.
Like, how do you know it's too far? How do you? Now I got into the thing and got even a bit more interested in comedy, and I totally enjoyed my time.
Yeah, so we met at the Femicide March,
Yeah.
and then later on, I saw you on TV, you
Yeah.
guy, at the Manda Mano.
I'm saying, man,
Huh?
Esh,
You get what was the transition?
This
my guy?
Mandamano thing. It wasn't even supposed to happen. I'm telling you. I remember I was getting out of like a really, really dark episode. I've also struggled with like, just the throes of life, like, just depression and whatnot. And I had been through a really, really rough patch.
Uh-huh.
And Mandamano, I think, started on 18th. But on 16th, I was in my house. I had an attempt, like a suicidal attempt.
Whoa,
Yeah, it was-
can you talk about that? Like, not the attempt
Yeah,
itself,
I mean,
but
yeah.
what was the... Why? How do you get to that dark place,
I don't
man?
know. I don't know what it is, but I think it's. If I look at it,
Yeah?
it's the lack of grounding, or I don't know if I'm calling it maybe lack of grounding or gratitude, but it's just. I'm trying to look at it. It just felt like, for me, in retrospect, it's a lack of gratitude. It's a lack of grounding. It's living in the past. It's an entitlement to the past, where I feel like this should have happened to me soon, and this should have happened differently. This should be working differently. Because at the time, I can't say that I wasn't doing well financially, for example. I can't say that I wasn't in like a loving relationship at the time. I was just okay, but then it was crazy. And then I also just started dabbling with drugs, kidogo.
Shit.
Yeah, it wasn't even drugs, it was just alcohol. Yeah. And it's shameful because that, 6 ciders. Oh, okay. I don't think you should be a pussy like that. There's no way 6.
Yeah, don't make me laugh, please.
I'm ashamed. It's embarrassing. I had 6 ciders.
You're doing better. Me 4 balloons and I'm gone. Take me after 4 balloons. Take it. I say.
Your guy.
Where?
Baby,
I'm
bro.
bro,
I'm telling
me
you.
on my light
Your guy,
weight.
bro. Kabisa. And then it was my first time. It was so naive. I was feeling very overwhelmed. I don't know by what at the time because I can't even remember. But
But it's funny how you can't remember now, but at the time it's normally
I
really
remember
a
because
big thing.
for it to get to the point where I'm blacked out on the 10th floor, if I had not blacked out, I'd probably have fallen.
Fuck.
Yeah. So that my neighbors, shout out to them, my really, really close friends, like in a V and whatnot. They come and like I had a really, really tight circle. So I think it was something. There was some betrayal also in my life and whatnot. Just a lot of nonsense happening. I was one of those guys where I had to research again. I was Googling at the time. What should you do before drinking alcohol? What should you whatever, and those kinds of things. But then now, but also it's in my journey of becoming, because remember, I used to be a red pilled guy,
Uh-huh.
proper red pill.
Kwani who had hurt you, bro?
I don't even think I'd gotten out of Anini. What's it called? I'd gotten out of some relationship.
Fucked you up.
I think it was also a bit long term. We dated maybe 3-4 years, and I was just now getting into understanding this. From that relationship, I was like, I don't think I'm a big proponent of what marriage as an institution, the way it was sold to me. I don't think I wanted to subscribe to that.
Okay.
It was this man is a beast of burden type thing, and I was like, bro, I'm in my early 20s. I don't think I'm supposed to be, anyone's supposed to expect champagne on a mango juice budget. I'm not supposed to be doing like have husband duties on like a boyfriend material thing. And then also, I just started getting famous. So,
all right.
So there's now you're getting diversity.
Yeah.
There's this thing which Jangos, and it's a rite of passage for any Jango. They will pretend it's not, but you need to go through your light skin phase.
Oh, for real? Huh?
Yeah, you have to date. Also, it's specifically a Kikuyu or a Kao chick.
Okay.
You must. So even sometimes you ask a Jangos, other Jangos will ask you, is she beautiful or is she just light skinned?
For real?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Like Jangs just
Damn.
at some point love to be with light skinned women.
Oh, okay.
And then at the time I was trying to discover, what does beauty mean to me? What does if I'm going to commit to someone, why am I committing to them? Is it because I'm just around I'm just around people who are married? Again, also I was always consistently hanging out with folks who are older than me.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, after that relationship, it's when I met this guy who wrote Unplugged. It's called Jacob Elliott.
Oh yeah, shout out to him, bro.
I went to some meeting in town. And we met there, and this guy is just now. I was exposed to the red pill, and not even in the sense that you should hate women.
Yeah.
It's just that it sort of gave a name to what I thought was to the things I was going through. So you start to understand, and that's the thing which sometimes I feel people miss. The red pill is not a lifestyle. It's just a perspective. It's I would call it a frame or like a lens through which you see. This is how we should treat. The red pill is not your existence. It should be like these shades. I'm like, okay, fine. I know what this behavior is. Yeah. I know that this is hypergamy, so I wouldn't be mad if if a lady left me because a more powerful or a richer, wealthier man came by. I'm just like, I charge it to the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I have to be absolutely at the top of my whatever. I wouldn't be mad if. So again, part of that, the red pill again is what sort of helped me understand feminism. Because red pill guys are like, why do you have one-itis? Why do you think that this woman owes you her life? Yeah, if she ditches you, just accept your loss and move on.
Yeah, for sure.
We shouldn't be seeing all these things where men are stabbing women and red pill
owning.
guys. Yeah, they despise.
There's no
those
ownership.
Guys. Yeah, they despise those guys. So I'm getting into that, and now, of course, now there's the exposure to a lot of women. Now you're famous and you're sort of articulate, so you're getting a bit more poon. And so there's a time I was just pretty much out there.
You in a good place.
I was in a.
You should give me an offer.
I'm telling you, who would?
Jiggy, did you see that ass?
I'm saying. So
yeah, man.
So there was that, and so now I'm getting into this. Even by the time I'm coming to the Femicide March, there was a whole debate about man versus bear. Do you remember it?
No.
And I got it like on the 20. It was 2024, 2023 or 2024. Well, actually 2024.
Oh yeah, I remember
man
the
versus bear. If you were in a forest, alone
exactly.
as
I
a
remember.
woman,
I remember that.
Would you rather be in a forest alone with a man or a bear?
Yeah, I remember.
I remember being so mad that the women said I would rather be in a forest with a bear.
Yeah.
And there was a whole whatever. And so I had, at the time, people used to stitch videos. I used to be even in mental health, actually. Mental health and advocacy. And then now got into the transition point of just understanding gender dynamics. And then now that's when Mandamano comes in. So even before then, I'd gotten this thing wrong. And then I had several debates with my friends and whatnot. And then now it culminated in me going to the march with them. So I went with my friends, I said, hey man, there's a guy who had hacked a babe called Ivy. You'd live to be here with a panga and go to Eldoret.
Yeah.
And I said, man, it's crazy. And so we went for the march, and I was with Ems, and I was asking her, is it okay to say Wamama? And she told me, in fact, Wamama is empowered. I was like, viva, 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 Wamama. It was just super crazy. So we were walking and we were having conversations and whatnot. And I remember going back home and saying, there's something that's going to happen in the country. I just don't know when or why. Because the march was big, you remember?
Yeah.
But I saw some loopholes, and I remember I was on call with a pal of mine, and I said, the state doesn't take you seriously. Unfortunately, it just doesn't. Because we were given police escorts with horses. People, the first guys to occupy parliament, even sat in the office of the president.
Yeah, up on Bell, I was there, bro.
Yeah, or Vigilance House.
Checking me, yes,
I'm
sir!
telling you, you know, like that whole thing. But I was like, if this is not intimidating, I don't know. There was just that missing link. And that the thing that even made 2024's demos different from, for example, our departed leader, Honorable Raila's Mandamanos, for example, is it felt like it was just for a particular base and mostly it was male driven. But for the first time, both men and women were on the streets together. I think that's the only thing that made it stand out. Because protests have always been there, but that synergy, the collaborative effort of men and women, and typically of having women come in front of the mic. And the reason when I knew to, like, for example, check out of the thing, when I saw the women move away from the microphones, I was like, yeah. So for me, the movement didn't at TCG or die because of the people who did A, B, C, and D. Nah, I looked at it and I said, okay, now we're pivoting back to the regular politics. Align yourself with the best players.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Did you during that Mandamano time? You got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like used to be on
the
news and shit.
Yeah.
Was it shocking?
It sort of was, in the sense that I was not used to this.
Yeah.
Again, you know, you can't just handle fame suddenly. And remember, me when I went for those protests, it was a joke. My friends and I were playing dress up. The first protest, I'm in a baggy suit. I'm carrying a recorder and a tear gas canister. The person I was playing was a music teacher.
Oh.
Yeah. So me I went there as a professor. My trousers tied here, proper tie and whatever. Then I met this dead crowd. And I was just teaching them some jingles. I actually was really mad because I was looking for my friends. I couldn't find my friends for the whole day. I kept on calling them, asking them, man, I hear where you guys are. Which side are you guys, man? Where you guys are is where the action is, and you guys are not calling. Oh, to call Anniversary Towers. I couldn't find them.
Okay.
But I'd meet some crowds and teach them some songs. So I'm like, this is not how you whatever. This is not how you do a protest. You come here, in fact, sing this song. I will pigisha songs,
okay.
whatever. This time we even lay down on the ground. Yeah, they rushed. Because I was very excited. They brought the tear gas can. Like, finally. I was trying to return the canister. It traumatized me, but I said, me, I'm dying with you. Then I carried the canister to say, now I remember. Then now is when I meet Cheruto, and we're even crossing. She's even going to her other friends. And she records a video, and she asked me, hey, guys, what are you cleaning? I'm saying the scent of the day is sponsored by the government of Kenya. I'm wearing ordered tear gas or something. I forget what I said.
Right.
Yeah, and then it just blew up.
So that thing went viral.
Yeah, so that's what went viral. But then somebody also told me that they saw me at the BBC. But it's because you remember I told you I'd met some dead crowd somewhere.
Yeah.
In one of those dead crowds, some of the cameras there belonged to the BBC guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
so they recorded the
I'm
stuff.
with a canister over here and I'm singing like this.
And then you're also in a suit.
Yeah. So it looks iconic. It's an easy story to track and whatever. It goes ahead. And at the time, I remember, part of the propaganda is that, these guys are aligning themselves to push the LGBTQ agenda. There's a really good friend of mine. I haven't spoken with her in ages. She was called Mary Liz. And she had like a pride.
Mary Liz. I know Mary Liz. Yeah.
Yes, and she had like a pride flag.
Yeah.
And so you were there and people are saying, you're Nining. I was like, if this is what it takes to... if that's the price you have to pay for you to humanize all these groups of people, then so be it.
So how did it reach a point where you became sort of like the leader of the movement and guys were so upset that, like to the point that in the aftermath, guys are like, this guy betrayed us. Like, so how did that happen, bro?
I'm just thinking, in retrospect, I was a very easy story to track. People think that I was going to the Mandaman with suits as though I own any other clothing. I've always been in suits. So I was going to Mandaman.
You were born in a suit.
Yes, with my regular suits. In fact, I was going with the bad suits because I was like, this one is. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is the bad one. I'll go to the streets with this one. Yeah, so I left the good ones at home. That's why I'm usually saying if I knew that I was gonna go viral on the 18th, I would have dressed well. Yeah. So again, it's a really, really easy story to follow because in a crowd of people wearing T-shirts and there's a loud mouth over there, and they have shades and afro and a suit
and the Shelby hat.
You would, yes. You couldn't miss it.
Yeah.
It was very easy. And then in good luck, I got to, meet the people who were like sort of, doing the posters, the organization. And now we started hanging out quite a bit.
Okay.
So read some press statements and press releases. And then from there, now I just became part of the inner sanctum of the people who were doing the planning. Of course, the point where I see people say that I betrayed them, the specific point was in October, where, of course, now there was the point where, at first, I've seen, because the Mandamano period was not easy for me because I was being trolled even in June. Consistently, there were people who were for, there were people who were against. When the state meets out violence and whatnot, the people were saying, oh no, this is fake. My abduction, for example, raised a lot of furor. The guy who saved me, in all honesty, was Baba.
How did that happen? How did he reach out?
No, so remember, I was actually against him.
This was way after the Mandamano,
This is 25th.
Okay.
I got taken 26th. At that time, remember, everyone's trying to figure out where's this money coming from. Everyone's trying to figure out what's Nini. And
which money? The one for funding the Mandamano?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, where are these kids getting the money? That was the question. At that time, it was really easy in the sense that, there was it wasn't politicized. It was just a big protest.
Yeah.
Of people saying, nah, reject the bill. I remember even being called by some guys asking me, unataka nini?
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I met with really, really senior people in the country. Being asked, nini? I even had cases in the DCI. And there was some investigating officer who was just on my neck, man. And they couldn't find anything. Consistently, me, I was just like, nah, scrutinize. I'm willing to take my bank account.
You'd keep your phone off?
Nah, after you, I was just in this thing for the sake of being in this thing. I actually really just believed that the bill should have gone. And of course, there was a time I was booed in Uhuru Park. I think it was Sabasaba, bro. I usually think about it, and sometimes people ask me, oh, do you have no shame? I'm like, where can a guy like me get shame? Can you imagine? There was a memorial, we were doing a memorial on 7th in Uhuru Park. At the time, Uhuru Park was closed, but then there was a concert, like a peace concert that was...
yeah, I remember it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody's there. It's gathered there. I think it's a Sunday after. I've gone in there.
Giuliani.
Yeah, everybody, kill to everyone's hosting and nini. And this babe who used to work at Kiss, I think I into a Quambox. She was the host. I think she just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was hosting that thing and she saw me. And at the time I was getting a lot of flack online.
Okay.
And she says, no, come and say hi to these people. And
oh, she told you that?
Yeah. It's just right. I think Papa Jones's performance was interrupted so that I can say hi to these guys.
Oh, for real?
And the crowd, the young people want to listen to Calligraph Jones.
Yeah.
Bro. Everyone wants to listen to the OG. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to do it now and whatever. So I go there, she can the mic. I'm like, Viva, comrade, Viva. Those are dark times, brother. Let me actually breathe.
Yo, that's funny.
Because actually, what the shit, bro? Because
wrong timing.
I'm saying, what the fuck do you mean, Viva, comrade, Viva?
Yeah.
Itakuwa ni mazishi. And it really was mazishi because I just said, Mbwa. It started here.
Shit.
And at this time, I've danced in the crowd and whatever. So we hang out. I thought we were chilling.
Damn. Quambox called you onto the stage.
The whole, yeah. And the whole Uhuru Park just started, I'm saying...
Oh, they said Tukana you, bro.
You imagine being Tukanwad by Uhuru Park.
I like what?
Typing has Obama, presidents who have ever been heckled. People who have ever been heckled.
Apart from Moi.
I didn't even know. I couldn't find the footage for Moi, so that I feel good. So I was just like, man, I'm going to die. That time I went and I remember I went to my girlfriend's home. It's
on
taboo
that-
for us
when you
as
left that day.
Jangos
Yeah.
to go and sleep at your woman's house.
Place, yeah.
I went to their home.
Oh, home kwao.
Kwao.
How did you get off the stage and get out of there safely?
I nilitembea too. I just walked. You know, of course, there's people who also love you and whatever.
okay,
and
okay.
and now you walk.
But how did that make you feel, though?
I've never felt as small to the point where I felt like I needed parental attention. I went and slept on their floor and said, man, I feel so small. I feel so dejected. And of course, now you see, at that time also, there's propaganda that's being raised. I remember there was also a time, Medics, there was a thing called Medics for Kenya, which a pal of mine was running.
Yeah,
It's called...
someone is even referring to that right now.
I see. Oh, so for this story, for example, I used to get to town. I used to park my car somewhere at the cathedral.
Okay.
Then I'd take a bike and go to town. So I had two routes. I'd known two border guys who I would work with. Now you've been undermining, whatever, and I'm famous, so there's a hedge. So I get there, and there's a place. There's a, Jamia Mosque.
Yes.
There's a mosque there. There's an Equity here. There's a Total petrol station.
Yeah.
Nation Center is like this.
Yeah.
So I had spots where I could spawn from. I used to spawn. That was one of the places I'd spawn from. Nation Center was good.
Oh, okay.
And then those guys from Andamano are Ronald Ngala. Ronald Ngala is where the action was. Ronald Ngala's you tomboy nini yes, nini bushy guys who are in Kimathi. You come into like this Harambe, Kidogo, then you Cardinal Otunga, the whole thing. This morning, I fika, and whenever I'd fika like this, whenever I was sitting there and do I see you coming in, hasta la Victoria, whatever.
Yeah.
So the media guys, they followed me. So we're here and we've been moved. I tried heading into the Java and whatever. Now we come to, we're being pushed. We're being pushed by the cops. Now we get to the Total. My reasoning was, I'll just chop at this presser. I forget what Mandamano that was exactly. Probably was the 22nd or something, or just before the. Actually, it was after the 25th.
Okay.
And so my reasoning, because we said every Tuesday and Thursday after that, after the 25th, we'll keep going. And I'm addressing the press and I'm trying to tell them, hey, listen, whatever we're here to do is a peaceful exercise. Nobody wants anything. We do not want power. We do not want politics. We don't want whatever. We just want a good country. My logic is, because we are at a petrol station, nobody in their right mind would throw an explosive at a petrol station. Nobody in their right minds would, for example, because we're far away from the medical camp. Remember, the medical camps were set up by a friend of mine, a schoolmate, a former schoolmate of mine called Dr. Austin Omondi.
Oh, okay.
Our next is called Japrado.
Shout out to him.
Yeah,
man.
shout out to him. They did phenomenal things. At some point, Medics for Kenya had the biggest blood reservoir in the country.
All right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of beautiful things happening. Then there's a babe who just came out and started shouting at me. Like, oh, McOure, you cannot be here.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. And she's some random doctor. I didn't even know she was a doctor. Everyone was in a reflector. I remember I looked at her and I told her,
So
excuse
what was
me,
a grievance?
we're here. You're here because we are here. This thing has no use if there are no protesters on the street. So you have to treat us. Don't come shouting. I'm addressing international press or whatever. We were not even at the medical camp. The medical camp was like 50 meters away from where we were.
Okay.
Yeah. And remember, you're scared. Nobody's trained to like listen to bullets or whatever. I think she was called, her name started because she was Angie or something. I forget it. But
I broke up with Los Angeles.
Yes, it's good, man. That's very good.
So she was. So that tiff was recorded.
That tiff was recorded.
Okay. Who was recording that?
Some I don't know.
Just a
some
random
stupid-ass
camera was
doctors.
running.
No, it was guys from in there, from that camp.
Oh, okay.
And so they record it and they send it online. Me, I'm out here. We're protesting still. I finished the thing and I said, hey, guys, comrades, because also guys were surging towards the side. The only place that felt safe was around Jamia Mosque.
Okay.
Yeah. But those guys wanted it exclusively. So it felt like, they were saying, you're bringing protesters here.
Oh,
and I'm
I
like,
get you.
nah, we're here.
Yeah.
If you need me, if I am to marshal this crowd to leave this place, there ought to be some sense of control. You can't come here and start shouting. You've tried shouting at them. They've not left. So can you let me at least do my shit and then we can find a route.
Damn.
We can plan like a whatever. I remember I couldn't even focus. Now it's burning on Twitter. Guys are saying, you see, he's even...
But he said burning later.
Yes, nah. It's not, I don't have my phone on the streets. But the video was sent instantly.
Okay.
Remember the guys who were sitting there, they were just, no offense, they were just sitting. Yeah. They were not demonstrating.
Okay.
They were just chilling in the camp. So she sent out that video. And I remember I went there, and it's one of the lowest periods of my life. I'm never going to subjugate myself like that.
This guy is saying he actually made the cops deploy tear gas towards the medic zone. Did you make
this
cops?
guy, like, who can make cops deploy anything? So like walk me through it. I don't know if this is the guy, but man, I hope it's not.
No.
There was like a guy who was really he really spewed the propaganda because so for example, so how do you walk me through it? How do you make a cop deploy tear gas? It's either if you're rushing stones or whatever. I don't understand it. So anyways, so I do the presser and whatever. And I went and told these guys, can we do an explanation that this was a misunderstanding? Because to be fair, we went and reconciled. I went there and told them I totally respect what you were doing.
Okay.
And we had like a whole reconciliation and it was like, okay, cool. I see they didn't. They said, no, we're sorry. It went out. We can't. I spoke to my pal. Now he wasn't there.
That was the next day?
Yeah, no, still the same day.
Oh,
because
for
now
real?
it's burning and people are telling me, Tsukupate will beat you up. And I'm like,
damn,
there's no way I can be in
shit,
danger
that's
from both the
crazy.
cops and the crowd that has been misinformed about my presence here. So, man, it starts happening. And I even did community work with these guys. I even helped them collect the whatever. And I said, pieces of shit. Actually, that babe and this guy who was some of those doctors, some of them, there's like a guy I even went to high school with. I won't mention his name, but like I was like, brother, it's nasty work. So because I'm like, so my only fault is that I was known. Well, I was in a suit, so should I have stayed home? And that tiff I had, and she was really cantankerous. She's shouting, she's out there, she's some expletives. I'm usually fairly chill. But then I also meet disrespect with a lot of disrespect. Yeah. I always believe that you cannot out disrespect me. I have a bit of I can string words together. And so now when that happened, I feel like now that's when it started going
That
south.
was the beginning.
That was the beginning of the end. And I remember, sour. Now that this has happened, I went back to the streets consistently because I with the group I was organizing with, I was known. I was like, I won't leave here. And then now, just after the whole thing, there's a time there was a commemoration march in Tao for femicide again. And the next time people were going on the streets, I was like, I'm actually a really firm believer of this. The march that we met at, the one that was earlier in March, I actually had gotten a lot of flack for being told, I'm pandering to women and whatnot. But it just had clicked. And I said, this is a march I'm going to attend for as long as I'm alive. It doesn't matter. This is not a political thing. It's not a whatever. But hey, I remember I went there. And this time, all the propaganda has been spewed. People are saying I'm a sellout. A lot of things that happened. There's a time people were supposed to occupy JKIA.
Yeah, I remember.
And people couldn't make it into the airport. And people were wondering, how did you make it into the airport? So you must have been a government mole.
PSYOP.
Yes, you're a PSYOP. But I'm just like, everybody has access to buying. You could buy a bui. I didn't drive my Sobi. I drove a Pro Box. Untinted. We are just there, peace-loving family as we want to travel to Belgium. Then we got there. I parked to Terminal 2, removed my Magwanda.
Then you walked
into the thing. Then somebody asked me, amongst the questions at the time, someone's asking me, do you know about the 70 kids who are missing in Russia? I said, you want to tell me there are 70 kids missing in the country and we're out here protesting over a freaking airport? Anyway, I finished the protest there, some DCI guys, and I met one of them at a rally juicy, and he said, that day, we were the guys who were tailing you and whatever, but we saw it would bring more harm than good.
But they were tailing you on that day?
Yes. So no, I met them recently. I met him at a rally I went to in CI Juicy last week, 2 weeks ago actually. So anyways, I went to Russia the next day. And I hated the fact that, we just had our phones out and, everyone's just, everyone wants to vlog and it's just, the phones are in the family's eyes. And I remember we got there, we actually were even chased by goons first. And I said, nah, we just want the truth. We want to know if we've actually not come to agitate. We've just come to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there are 70 kids that are missing, we're not living here until we find the kids. I remember the villagers asked us, because the parents who had just come to the site, we spoke with the district, the person who's in charge of education in the district, and the whole region, the regional commanders of police and whatnot. The guys were there, were trying to control. But the guys, a bunch of TikTokers from Nairobi. Everyone was just, haki yetu. I'm just like, haki yetu, whatever. The parents told us, the village made a request that, tafadhali, we're in a period of mourning, so msipige kelele, whatever. Then guys were like, nah, hakuna haki yetu. And I remember villagers told us, kama kuna mtu hapa, mtoto wake amepotea, tuambie jina yake, tuingie kwa hiyo msitu, tukusaidie kutafuta. And we couldn't. I remember even that now the media is reporting that kuna kizagazaga, nini. I left Endarasha at around 5:30, because if they said, if you want to heckle the people in power, Kindiki at that time was CS Interior. They said that those guys are in Naromoru. So if you want to catch Gava guys, you go to Naromoru. And guys actually left. I stayed with this villagers who had told us, you're not allowed to record here. They told us, make a video and dispel the rumors that kumekuwa na githagazaga. Okay. So I learned that word. When I came back to Nairobi, guys said, you were sent to divert attention. Yes, to diffuse the anger. Yeah, and I remember I even went to the burial of the kids. None of these guys came to that. I went there. There was even a baby whose case I was following called Ryan, and he had not been accounted for at the hospital. And I said, I'm not getting off this Endarasha case until it's over. Until I saw every kiddo and I saw all the families there. So anyways, it happens, and I'll come back and everybody's saying, nah, he's being used by the government. You said he's an NIS operative and whatnot. And at the time I said, I think it's too far gone to try and save face, to explain yourself to people who are hell-bent on misunderstanding you. But also even between that, there's a time we used to plan some of these things at United Kenya Club. Okay. And we'd meet there, whiskey, kidogo, cigars and whatnot, as we just unwind and think, this is what we're going to do tomorrow. And I met this guy, this MP called Osoro. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know Osoro. I met him with this women rep called Jerry Minor. And so we are talking. I didn't know he was an MP, because he's like, he's talking to me just the way we would be talking, just the same way anyone would approach me and say. So we were talking, we even seated, and he said, let's take a photo. I'm like, yeah, Kwanza, it's Jerry who suggested we take a photo. At that time, she was Gava Mbaya, which right now she's saying she's a one-time person. But guys, for years to finance bill. So Osoro, now we take a photo, a video, we even laughing. He was trying to tell me, and I remember I was even rejecting it. But they sent out the video, and it was muted. They put some music on it. So I'm laughing. And in the evening, I see that this guy, because the reason why even the guys we were doing Mandamano with did not call me or whatever, is I had gotten there earlier than they were. So we had agreed the meeting was supposed to happen at 4. I was there at like 3:50. Okay. Guys came in at like 4:45. So if we were in time, I would not have met this guy. So anyways,
so the video comes out.
The video comes out, and I see he's dining with the oppressors. I think just before I went to Endarasha. Shit. So man, the video is out. I get to realize Osoro is a majority whip in parliament. UDA guy mbaya. Jerry Minor is a women rep for UDA mbaya. So it's like, I see, he's even hobnobbing and he's kicking with Gava people. So he's definitely a plant from Gava.
Damn.
I looked at it and I said, I guess, so I'm not going to be taking photos with people and whatever. But then it was too far gone. So somebody told me that as a public leader,
I remember seeing that photo.
Everybody's gonna want to take a photo with you. And also, they know me, I don't know them.
It was from 0 to 100 in like weeks.
Real quick, man. Huh? So, ish.
You're learning on the job.
Kabisa. I used to wake up to tweet some nonsense. I'm just, whatever you're feeling now that the whole country is feeling.
So what happened, man? Did you go back to sleep on the floor of your... Was it
so consistently, I feel like it was Nini... You see the way people usually say marriage is bastardization by 1,000 cuts. Now this one, I feel like I was being hardened. So with every subsequent... every subsequent disappointment, I would see something a bit more clearly. I'd see, I'm like, so you do not want to be objective about this. So therefore, I will not take your opinion seriously. With every propaganda item, with every misunderstanding, there are things that I, for example, would apologize for if I got a misstep, which were quite few. But most of the time, I was just like, that's just the herd. You're never going to convince the herd. You're never going to convince this, whatever. So anyways, that happens. And now I feel like the two things. Now, when I went for the last femicide march, and this is the thing which made me realize that I'm never going to do anything just because of public pressure. I was just sitting at home, I'm lounging, I'm saying, hey, let me stay away from this march. This second march, I don't want, because guys that come, politicians that go on, at the time Morara had a car for inject.
Yeah.
People, like the women were saying, oh, he came, he was making it about himself. So I was like, let me probably sit it out. Then some babe on Instagram tagged me on some Insta story saying, you see, he was just performative. And at that time, that word used to trigger me. Because remember, earlier in the year, I'm from arguing with feminists. And I'm from like a red pill, whatever. Now I'm coming to this other time. And I remember just taking my car, I parked at the Basilica. This time I didn't park at Cathedral. Parked at Basilica. I was rather unpopular at the time. And I called some of my Nini boys. I told them, hey, I'm in town. And formed... Rao had set a hedge. Now I came to understand that he had set a protective barrier for me. So I had people who were willing to walk with me in the street. So I told him, hey, I'm in town. He pulled up with 10 guys. So we're walking, and I'm like, I'm not even talking. I'm just walking. I'm behind. I'm in the crowd. Not to be seen. We're walking. I'm not saying anything. Then I'm walking where we get to the street. Some random girl, they start heckling me. And every once in a while, during political high moments, the video shows up where I'm being heckled by a bunch of ladies. And I didn't mind it. I was like, okay, easy. Maybe this is the price. So what I was going to do is, I said I was going to walk out of that thing. So as I'm walking out, some babe pours water.
Damn.
It pours water on me. I remember I was so enraged. And now these guys wanted to just start beating. I told them, hey,
shit,
tembea, usiguze mtu yoyote hapa. Let's get to the car.
The crew, the guys.
Yes, the crew wanted to throw hands. I said, no. It beats the whole purpose of why we were here.
I remember the clip. There was a chick saying,
and whatever. And I think that now for me was the last time. No, so that's a penultimate time before it gets to now Rigiji's impeachment. So, everybody thinks that you're supposed to be living life on their terms. Everybody looks at it and says they think that you have the same set of decisions. So at any given point, you're facing these decisions as an individual. You do not have a crew to ask, what do I do here? And you do not have the luxury of indecision. You do not have the luxury of making decisions later. So if I knew better, what I would have done is I would have surrounded myself with a team consistently. But maintaining teams are expensive. You can't, and you can't know that if you're doing, for example, politics innocently or whatnot. So anyways, so that happens. I go home. Now I'm dejected now again. Remember now Uhuru Park had already happened. Now we're getting into this other time, and then now Rigiji gets impeached. What's funny, the backstory about like me speaking at Bomas, because the thumbnail that you had posted of me in like a suit, a tuxedo, a tuxedo actually, is Morara had just come up. And he's doing really well with the party. But then the movement internally is struggling with jealousy. In retrospect, Morara did a really good job. And what we should have done is we should have supported him with all we had at the time. We should have partnered instead of trying to... So we guys who came up in June, you see, Morara came at the point where momentum was being lost. Mm-hmm. So guys are no longer on the streets. On 8th of August is the time where the famous Nation Center video is coming up, and OSGM being trolled, the Olympics is happening and whatnot. But now he comes up with this really interesting way of alerting the country on corruption. And he's walking around and is mimicking the president and is doing this and that. And he goes into consolidating and forming a party. We guys who had been the faces of Maandamano, we were threatened, and we, instead of collaborating, we wanted to poke holes in his methodology.
All right.
So he's getting money he's getting donations, a lot of donations. He, in all honesty, it's atypical of politicians to do this, but I think we have to change it. And Morara is a successful young man. Like, out of politics, out of our donations, the guy has it. He had his shit together.
Yeah.
He has his family locked in. He has his kiddos. His business was thriving. He has his cars. Loves his soft life. But then you're coming from the streets, and you do not have these things. And remember, he was he's an anomaly. He's not your typical 30, 31, 32-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So us, we're in our early 20s or mid 20s. You're wondering. So definitely everybody thought, oh, it's all our donations. Because, he'd go with a team and they'd do public rallies. There was the car. There was the office in Kahawa that was donated. The COVID
and
inject
it
center.
looked really well put together.
It was lavish and whatnot. But the man he's one of those people who just have what's called kismet. He just has it, and he's a hard worker. And he sits and he does his research and whatnot. So we sort of fumbled there. So at this time, I was working with a lady called Esther Moneki, who was a big proponent of a discussion around the Kenya that we want. And so at this, there was a week where I was just really quiet. I'm ruminating. I'm asking myself what I'm supposed to do next. But then the public participation in Nairobi for the impeachment of the deputy president then is coming on Friday. And I'm still doing TV shows. I'm still kanyagaing people's necks and whatnot. And so on Wednesday, Esther challenged me and said, work with Morara. So what the plan is we're gonna be there together, and because we're similar voices, we'll have to leave this place together and go with a similar ideology. That was not to happen because when I was at an interview, the venue was moved from KICC to Bomas. And at the time, people were saying kick out both the president and the DP at the time. But then when we go to the public participation now, eventually the clip that gets out is that I'm saying Rigathi must go. But backstory. So Morara comes and gets to Bomas early, and he gets on the floor, and he's beaten up.
Yeah, they threw the
chairs and the whatnot, and there's a lot of violence meted against him. I didn't see this because remember, I'm coming from K24 and heading direct for the public participation. So I'm not particularly on my phone. I get to Bomas. I was roughed up as well.
All right.
Yeah. But I met some guy who seemed like an MC. I just was lucky I jumped into some room, which seemed like a VIP place. And then this guy walks in, and he's like, oh yeah, young man, what's up? What are you doing? We were chewing the fat for like 5 minutes. And he's like, oh, you're a really decent guy. But I was telling him, I'm actually afraid for my life because these young people want to beat me up and whatever. Yeah. He says, no, don't worry. I could need you my bodyguard. You could give him your phones if you want. Do you want to sit or you want to go outside? I said, whatever. But he said, no, come and sit and watch the proceedings. So I wasn't huku chini, niko huku juu, because I remember I met this cop at the entrance and we were talking, kawambia, afande, kuna commotion mingi sana. Hakuna haja ni kusumbue ni wasumbulie kazi. Hakuna haja mtu yote yaumie hapa. Hao watu wengi wananijua. Na the more nakaa hapa, the more wataendelea kuja. Because they didn't want the door to be crowded. He said, wewe, akaita afande yake, unaona usikia vile ameongea vizuri? Wewe vile umeongea, wewe pita hapa. So that's how I end up now into this other door, where I meet this guy who was the MC. Who I come to figure out was the MP for Madari. Oluoch. He was the MC guy.
All right.
So now I sit and I meet this guy called Stazo. And
so you get into some sort of VIP section?
Not some sort of. The VIP section.
Shit.
Yeah, so I sit with this guy and I think he's a bouncer. Kume is the MCA for Savannah Ward. It's called Stazo.
Okay.
So we're talking and I'm here. I feel like, oh man, I'm in trouble because everybody I've ever insulted is on this podium. I see Alai over there. I see Pesaris over there. I see KJ over there. I see everybody. So I'm like, man, it's either a bad setup or not. So we're chilling, nini. As I'm speaking to Stazo, I'm asking also what's happening. I'm like, whatever. And he said, okay, hao ni maboy wangu. Those people who wanted to beat me up. Akamwambia, wewe uliza usikie. So I'm talking to them. Nauliza, story ya prezo tunafanyaje? Hapana umdu. Na akaniambia huyu anaenda. Prezo tunafanyaje? Usiseme mambo ya huyu hapa. So by the time now I'm being called TJ Kajwang. Calls me to the front. So I go and say hi to Alai because I was afraid and whatever. Now TJ calls me and he says, oh, get the mic. But then now he says, no, in fact, come here. So I get the microphone. That's in Viva for Uhuru Park that I was booed with.
Oh, you piggered it again.
Piggered it again. And it goes so well.
Oh.
It goes so freaking well. The politicians are on edge, and then I finish saying, whatever. And I even castigated them and I chided them and I told them, just as a broken clock is right twice in the day, this is the right move. But also fix education, fix healthcare, fix whatever. I injected a bit.
Okay.
But now this guy, I spoke really well, and he even got me some guys, some boys wanipeleke pale kwa gari, and now I'm leaving. I'm seeing the phone ringing. My phone, typically in a state of rest, has like 1,000 calls. You see? 1,800, 900.
1,850.
Yes.
So how the fuck do you
so
sieve out?
consistently, I don't sieve them out. If I have your numbers out, if I don't, the phone needs it.
Shit.
That day, I'm just looking at it. It's rising. I'm seeing 2,000, 2,400, 3,000, 4,000. I'm seeing the messages are increasing. What's up? You see WhatsApp has 51,000.
Damn.
At that time, it's just mad. It's growing. It's at 70, 80, 100,000. Anyways, it gets to that period, and I remember that time my girlfriend is the person who used to sieve out the noise for me.
Okay.
So I called her and asked her, babe, what's happening? Because now what I'm doing is I'm replaying the clip. I'm like, did I say something wrong? There's something wrong in this clip. I think I talked about the pressure points. I talked about the education. I talked about the healthcare. I talked about Article 37 and whatnot. Eish. The thing is, you organized violence against Morara.
Shit.
Yeah.
You get that's fucked.
Yes. You went and you even spoke at the podium when Morara was being beaten. So guys took the clips and they need them like this.
But you get why you're always getting this bad luck.
Telling you, but it's bad luck. But all my bad luck has always come with good luck.
All right.
Because remember now, I do this speech. Biggest lesson you learned, you never walk into a political gathering that you have not mobilized. It doesn't matter how popular you are. It doesn't matter who you are. All political gatherings are mobilized. There's no such thing as an organic political crowd.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, they're all put together.
All of them. You might think you've come here organically. You're the exception to the rule.
All right.
Yeah. Because you weren't paid. That's what I'm telling you. So that's happening. And at the time, I remember I was in my last ends. I was like, man, I'm sick and tired. I think I'm almost giving up on this whole situation. The way I spoke there got me exposure to Mze's team. Now, officially, I was like, it's either I'm blundering, it's because now the press is bad, and it's nasikia kuchizi. I remember a friend of mine was dropping their daughter at St. George's. I remember I drove there and I told them, I don't know what's happening. I switched off my phone. It's overheating even. I'm like, tell me what's going on. They're saying, it seems like you're in trouble, but do not worry. I said, do not worry, you spoke very well. This too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's Friday. Saturday I'm out, Sunday I'm out. And at the time I'd grown some thick skin. Yeah. So I was already like, that's when the deplatforming is happening. So I was saying, unfollow, deplatform this, whatever. And I told him, but you deplatform, but your nyanye knows me, but I told him, deplatform me and you go and you rinse me and my name off your nyanye's hat. Uh-huh. And at the time I was just like, again, for these people, all press is good press for politics. Of course, it wasn't that easy to accept at the time. I'm still in whatever. Anyways, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in the morning, we go to Capitol Hill. That speech that gave me all that bad luck, that whatever, got me the appointment with Mzee in Capitol.
So who called you to tell you to go to Capitol Hill?
We went with Gaucho, we went to the Kina. Alai were trying and whatever, but the person I went with was Gaucho.
So they called you and said, let's go. Or
Gaucho was a guy.
Gaucho
was consistently trying to... He was telling me, apana, hii usiende sana. This Gaucho guy who people are always trolling, always making fun of. The guy who's in the board of Mama Lucy. Uh-huh. Really, really solid guy. A very good friend of mine. He's funny as hell. So he told me, we're 20 Jacom. Bro, kwa wapi? Kesho nataka tuwe Jacom. Oh. And naambia, sawa. Someone had reached out and said, okay, Excellency might be looking at you. So it was just a lucky confluence. Oh, okay. And then I think it's the first time now I'm exposed properly to the greater ODM. So now the names are being whispered in the corridors. Now when I met Mzee like this, it was He said, come to the house the next morning.
Oh, for real?
Come to the house at 6:30.
Had he seen you before?
Yes. I had even jibzaned with him. But remember, he's also the guy who's getting me out of Ngori. I came to realize because some of the guys who were consistently around me in the streets, the guys who I thought were my organic security, are ODM guys. Me, I didn't have any connections to ODM before then. Yeah. I was like, bro, but...
So what convo did you have that day?
Wouldn't say.
At Capital, yeah.
It was everything, because remember, I'm still feisty. I'm also angry. And I'm asking, hey, what's up? How is it that...
You didn't show up.
Yeah. How is it that now it seems like we're in a bit of agreement with the president?
Oh, yeah.
What's up with this? Adani was also that year. Was it 2024? No, it was early 2025. Or AU, his bid for AU had already just now also been declared. So it felt as though His Excellency and the president at the time were getting close. Like all the questions, again, you think that you might inject when you are around
these guys.
When you're around these guys. When you're around power, you don't know what to say. First of all, Rao makes the room. It makes you feel like you're the only person in the world. And he regales you with stories. We couldn't even finish the stories. In all honesty, I asked maybe 3-4 pertinent questions. The rest of it was, I was just in awe. Because now he asks you and he does a proper introduction and he asks you and he knows someone from your village.
All right.
Yeah, he knows like he was there and he's like, oh, uni, nini.
How long are you guys in there?
I was solid 2 hours at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he told you come through tomorrow.
Come to the house, come to Karen tomorrow. This time I don't have his number, I don't have his...
Yeah, in fact, that was my next question.
I don't have anything.
Come how?
Yes. But luckily, I was with my friend Gaucho.
Okay.
Gaucho was Baba's guy forever. Gaucho's been Baba's guy since...
Back in the day.
Yeah. Walked with Rosie, walked with the Famo in 2013, even vied on ODM and whatnot.
So you went with him to...
Went with him in the morning. Went with him and a pal of ours called Apio. We have breakfast. He gave me a book called... A little-known book by his dad called... And I really, really admired like his relationship with his father because he used to call him Jaramogi.
Oh.
It was like called 3 months in India. Anyways, so we had a time, we had breakfast and whatnot, and we were talking, we were just going deep, and I'm asking him, what was the movement like in your time? I'm telling him, I'm really contending with this. I'm struggling. And then we posted the photo on Monday.
Remember, I remember that photo.
I'm still in heat. I'm still cooling heat from Friday.
Yeah.
And then Monday I posted.
You're deeper now in the ditch.
I'm in a blue pinstripe suit at Capitol Hill. And I said, man, when I met him after Capitol, I remember saying that I'm going to serve this man till I die.
For real?
Yeah. I said I'm going to throw the...
But why the very quick Saul to Paul like moment?
One, because he understood exactly where I was.
You think so?
Yes. And he said, Nini, I was called a traitor. I myself was called a traitor. He was telling me during their time in the movement, when he went and said he was going to work with Kanu.
Oh, LDP?
And the opposition, it seems as though there was not going to be unity among the opposition. He was called a traitor and he doesn't know how he came back from it.
All right.
So this is a person, one who's powerful, but also who sees you. And Rao never dealt with me like an unimportant person. He wasn't your regular politician. There's a respect and sacredness in which he treated me. That even when there's times, I still would dabble, even despite being in ODM at the time and the broad-based has been formed, I still would dabble around and try to play around outside the establishment or whatever. I remember there's a guy who came to Sema me to Mzee and he said, my eyes and ears. You couldn't besmirch my name.
You got, so now you got direct access now.
Yes, now once
like
we get
hotline.
we get to Karen, we have a really, really great time. We didn't need there. So I meet him, I meet Mama. At the time, there's a statement he had put out. And I remember saying the first statement was, Baba, you're lying. Whatever. And somebody told me that had been sent by Mama and she said, Mwambie tu atulie kidogo. Like you don't need to. Like the problem is not with the PM. Just tell your friend, so when I met Mama, I thought she was gonna chase me from the house. She said, you're the one. Have some food. So I expected her to be because everybody used to tell me, Mama is so mad at you. She was like, no, why are you not eating? come and eat.
So what would happen in that home? Like
They'll
delegations
finish,
on
we'll
delegations?
get- Yeah, that home never rests. It never rests. Everybody's trying to. And remember, Baba was a man on the clock. Everybody wants to meet him every single time. They have a thing that he's the guy you know. He's Reddington. Yeah, he knows a guy everywhere. I even used to see ministers who are serving in government asking Mzee to call
The prison.
call HE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or to help them with some project. A lot of these projects, I know he was very passionate about agriculture, so he was trying to help them even set up like whatever in farming. Some there's an irrigation scheme that was supposed to be opened. He was very passionate about like the rights of rice guys. Even for affordable housing, he's the one who gave land in Kisumu.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And he
that
donated, like he
story.
was very, very passionate about all of that stuff. Then that day, we were told, Baba does not, he doesn't give money or whatever. We're sitting like this, we're like, oh, thank you very much, Your Excellency. I'm so grateful for this time. I was feeling very encouraged.
This Monday, this day.
Yeah, this day. Now, so you've come to the house to carry.
Yeah.
In Capital, they didn't do anything. It's just like, come to the house tomorrow. I sit like this as we want to depart. He says, no, wait for me. Coach is there, he slaps everybody with a sock. One night says, "Oh, it's for to go and buy fuel." I said, "What?" All of us are shocked, man. And I was behind on bills because now I'm politically exposed. I can't work. Suddenly there's 100 ngwizi in your hands, man. I was like, "Ish."
The sock felt nice.
Yeah, it was a relief, man. And it's not just like an idle sock. It's a sock that comes from a person that I admire greatly. Yeah. And comes down from a person who actually believes and says, no, you commit, stay to your goals. Stick to it. Yeah.
So what became your role? Because you rose up really fast. You became like youth leader.
I really, to be honest, I rose up because of my proximity to His Excellency.
You started traveling together, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We go places.
Where did you
and
go?
say, oh, man. Almost everywhere he went in Kenya.
Did you go abroad together?
Abroad together, no. Only Addis when he was going for his campaign. But you see, he was busy.
Okay.
Remember that year he was seeking AUC
Yes.
votes. But then he also wanted us to do the work here locally for the Youth League.
So
So whenever he was here, he would be like, where are you? Come to the house in the morning. Come to the house at 9. Then we go for a rally in Migori. Nene, come to Capital. Come to whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were traveling locally.
So I'm sure the honeymoon period, when you meet, like the honeymoon period cushes and now it
The
becomes...
whole period was honeymoon.
Oh, for real?
Till he passes away. Man, I never recovered. The number of times, I'm going to tell you, sometimes I even call him. I've never believed it. Because we talk a lot. Let me see. And every single time, for example, when I'm feeling anxious about like ODM things, I used to call him. He'd be like, Kasmuel. No.
So how do you know what time to call? I mean, just
Him.
chance.
Him.
Yeah.
Excellency was my boy. Hey. His Excellency was my friend. You see, by the time, I don't know if it's on this phone or whatever. You see, by the time a guy like Rao tells you,
Let's check it out.
due to pressure.
I wasn't able to respond promptly. You think he typed these things himself?
This is him. He was my boy. Like, we were friends. You see here? Positive on both counts. Nini, at the time we even went to Kisi together and he was whatever. You see, best wishes in all you're doing and congratulations. I'm telling him, Bana, hapa watu wanasema
okay.
You see, this is October 9th.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
texting him, I'm telling him, Bana, these guys are saying whatever, but I took the chance at JKL to assure them of to pass your compliments to them. Yeah. So consistently. See, I think this is crazy. Call him on like, this is recently. Nah, this is juicy. Every once in a while, like, the mind refuses. Whenever we're having like
I
a
do
big
that with
ODM.
my dad's phone,
yeah, when
bro.
we're doing like a big ODM function, I'm like, Baba, you'd really like this. I would really love to know what you would have need.
Yeah.
So, like, it's one of those.
So how did that period make you
I
feel?
knew him
Surreal?
for 1 year and 1 week exactly. No single bad day. Not a single bad day. I used to hear that, Baba would be mad. Where? Yeah. And never, not once.
So did they put you on payroll like ODM youth? Because
Not
now,
ODM
remember now
youth.
you're not performing.
Yes. Not ODM youth, but Mzee was very aware of my political exposure. So he had retained me.
Okay.
He had retained me. And so his death was something.
Well, how did you get the news?
I'm in bed with my girl, and there were rumors, and I dismissed them. Then I saw it on the phone, and she was, and I think she scrolled past it. I said, "What's that? Let me see it." I was confirmed.
Shit.
The party was supposed to go to Kajiado for a party function on that day. Mzo was supposed to come back and go to CIA. We were supposed to hang out. There are things now which were planned to do. Yeah. Told me now, let's go. When I come back, I'm feeling much better. When I come back, let's talk about the things. Give me the update. Tell me what you want to do. Tell me like the ambitions.
Was he really unwell to us then?
He was. Yeah. He truly was unwell. Of course, it's such a shame that his health was propagandized as much, but he truly was unwell.
Okay.
Anybody who's close to him knows that. And he didn't shy to... he didn't... we usually feel like Baba didn't prepare us that he was leaving, but if you just were keen on his last days, he sort of warned us. Yeah, he did. He prepared us because there's a day I was with him at the house on a Saturday morning, and we spoke for so long. I was just before I went to Belgium for some program, and I told him after Belgium I want to go to SA. I want to do some things there. I want to meet some young people, and he said, "Yeah, go for it." I said, "How much was it?" I was like, "Whatever." I think the total cost of the whole thing was supposed to be like maybe 2.5. But she said, "Nah, take this. Give me like 6K. And he told me, "Take this 100 G's, take you to your mom. How's she?" "Yeah, this is your mom's gift and whatever." And so he was telling me I was not well, and then now I heard the news that he had gone to India, and after that it was something. So of course now the realities after Mzee sort of.
Guys say it left you orphaned, bro.
Yeah, it did. It left everybody orphaned, even the president himself.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm telling you. He's had to work really hard. They've tried everything.
What role was he playing for the president?
Rao was a parallel government. He brought a sense of order in a rather disorderly endeavor. There's nothing orderly about politics. You see, if he said, for example, there were going to be demonstrations on Monday, we knew who the leader was. We knew who was going to bail the people who were jailed. We knew who was going to be in charge. And he would account and visit all those families. But now you see there's a lot of disarray. There was that. He was the leader of the Kavirondo region.
Okay.
That, your Western, your Nyanza, Gusii Nation. He was the glue that held the Kavirondo region together. He hated that word. Kavirondo, I don't know what else. Western, let's say Western. He was the...
Yeah, this friend of mine told me Kavirondo is beyond the Luos. A couple of other tribes.
No, actually, yes, but he said that the Kavirondo translated to... It was something to do with defecation.
Oh, it was
so he didn't hate it because... No, yeah, actually.
Okay.
Kavirondo, it was like the people who... I forget the exact lore, but I'll find it. But anyways, the coast as well. So he stabilized all the regions in the country that would be considered opposition regions. Remember, this is a guy who controls, if you go to a general election, you only beat him by 200,000 votes. That's your equal. And in a fair fight where you don't have the instruments, that's your superior. So he sort of, no one person can fill those shoes. So that's the thing. At a personal level, of course, now the prospects of employment went out the window. You don't know because there's political exposure. Can you go back to
music?
You can't, because the people are charged and the people are mad that you were working with. I was working with Mzee, the people who were not too impressed about all these things.
Yeah.
So
what's been the plan, bro?
I don't know what the plan is, but God's been gracious rather. I haven't lost the roof over my head. There's food on my table, and shoes on my feet. So
a suit on your body.
A suit on my body, man.
Shit, big guy, man. Let's speak about it.
Hey.
Yo, post Rao, manze. This you and Sifuna really go at it. Is it on purpose?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, because what made me mad about a guy like Sifuna, by the way, Sifuna is actually really, really, really brilliant.
Yeah,
he's a brilliant politician. He is quite articulate. He makes politics interesting. However, at the time, ODM did not need contrarian voices. We had 20 years of you to do that shit. We had 20 years.
But now the king is not there, bro.
Is what I'm saying. At this point, all of us rank and file.
But these guys all those are going to be trying to...
No. The thing for me, which I was against was, what do you mean it's a time for superiority battles?
It's not a battle. Guys are trying to find their place.
You can't find your place barely a week before Mzee has gone. Oh, now is when we went on opposition agenda. Now is when we went to whatever. Like, friend, Mzee has just passed. The organs of the party have congregated and have decided. Remember, ODM has a lot of firebrands, by the way. Remember, Joho at some point was deputy party leader of ODM. You would know that, and he wants to be president. And he said severally in rallies that he would want to be president and want to vie under ODM.
Yeah.
Oparanya used to be a DPL at ODM, would have wanted to be a party leader. Simba Arati, a governor for Kisii, is a deputy party leader, would have wanted to be a party leader. Abdul Swamad would have wanted to be a party leader. Professor Anyang would have wanted to be a party leader. In fact, you remember when Baba was going to AUC, he stepped down as party leader of ODM. And Professor Anyang is the one who was selected to be the acting party leader. A guy like Orengo would have wanted to be party leader. Now, where are the youngins coming? What do you mean? We don't have time? You want to tell me that we didn't have 2 months to mourn Mzee without us all just putting...
So your problem was this was too soon?
It was too soon. And there were like declarations, Babani, whoever. The party has met and has said... and remember, now the community is in disarray. The Luo nation had not conceived the thought that Mzee would have passed. I'm telling you, this is a person who met him. I thought this guy was going to live forever. Yeah, that's how good it was. A great oak has fallen. Kavirondo has lost its region. The coast has lost its leader. But the Luo nation, specifically, has lost its patriarch.
Yeah.
You can't steady, and the Luo community does not work. It just as in every other, just because you're an upstart does not mean that you're ready to lead the community. It definitely, the elders sort of go to. So I was asking myself, everybody has set their ambitions aside, and a few people now want to tell us, we will not do this, we will not do that. And I'm like, Baba's last public appearance, he was firmly in broad-based. I didn't want this to be like, broad-based or whatever. But it was at one of my great-great-grandmother's funeral, Phoebe Asio.
Oh,
yeah.
Because our neighbors, bro, in Spring Valley.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And at the funeral, Mzee said, we're gonna show our work. People were telling us one time, ya mama yako. Oh, no, that wasn't like a different rally. But he was like, we will go to the people and they will judge us in 2027 by the work that we have done. His last public appearance was, he was working with President Ruto. However, now the other one that now the dissidents in ODM were latching onto is a meeting they had in Argyle. I was like, whatever Baba says to you as a parliamentary caucus cannot supersede what he tells the public. If we are to analyze his words, what he last said to the biggest group of people is what carries the day. Because Baba loved his people. And he wasn't elitist. He preferred to talk to his masses the way it were. So now those disagreements and now the consistent pressers that, he kept on doing, went to like explainer. And it just felt like it was undermining the party.
There's no one who he hinted like, if I'm not around, this is the guy.
No, but most of the planning that he did, because if you were close to Mzee and you were doing any sort of political engagement with him, you knew how he was close to his brother.
Oh, was he?
Always. When he was introducing me even to his political networks, the first person he introduced me to was his brother, Dr. Oburu, and he left me with him for a very long time at his home in Kisumu.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of these political decisions that Mzee used to make were championed and shaped by Dr. Oburu. Even when Mzee was meeting the president, the person who was behind him was Dr. Oburu. When he comes back now from Dubai and is meeting Prezo in Mombasa. So I was just like, if there's a person who would know his mind.
So who made the decision?
Top party organs. I can't say that I was privy to.
Rumor. What's the rumor mill saying?
There's no rumor mill. It's just
Like within
the CMC. It's everyone.
organization.
It's everyone. They sat. All of them sat. You know, the party usually has like a central management committee. So they sat in a boardroom, just the same way they go to elect a pope. Yeah.
Was it a temporary
No.
post?
No. Some people might have hoped that he would be a transitional leader, but nah.
Maybe it's the same thing that happened with Baba when he was dealing with Moi.
Mm-hmm.
So Moi's preference is this guy, but them as the young tax, okay, they weren't young.
Yeah.
The younger guys at the time, they're like, no, let's go like this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the case with ODM.
I mean, if that's the case, the only way we can know is maybe through, we have to let time tell.
Okay.
But my analysis is that, and I'm barely wrong. It might be unpopular, but I'm rarely wrong. I've not yet made a political move that could be deemed wrong. It's a cocky thing to say, but
But you've been in it for a year, 2 years.
think about the people I were with.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think we're...
All right. You working under Sifuna, would it be sort of a mentorship thing?
I would have helped.
Because you found him.
Yeah, it would be nice. But remember, me, I wasn't like beefing with him because I wanted
It was
to
just
be
the
SG.
decision of...
I just was like, if you're going to be part of a political party, then you will toe the political line. Especially if you purport to be, you know, the SG is like, it was a very important post. You're the spokesperson of the party.
All right.
There's no
How
way that...
powerful is SG?
It's a secretary compared to the party leader.
Okay.
You're actually the secretary of...
The voice,
Yeah.
more or less. Because they speak a lot.
What on a voice?
Yeah.
You're the secretary. You
Okay.
keep or cause the keeping of minutes in a meeting.
Okay.
That's its primary role. Then you read resolutions of the party. So you're the secretary to the party leader.
Okay.
And so personally, I had no problem. I was just like, we need order in the party. This is not the time for confusion. It's not that you, for example, you come and read one statement and then you go to tally and say something totally different. But yeah, nonetheless, I think they were given. Dr. Oburu, you know, is a really conciliatory man. He always seeks to bridge the gap, and I think if you think about it, that's the only reason this case has dragged out for that long. They've been given plenty of rope to hang themselves, and they've taken that.
All right. Are you guys close with Dr. Buru?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him through his brother, and he is light-hearted, lovely, really, really wise leader. And he knows how to, like, he simplifies problems, and he knows how, he's the king of de-escalation. When you meet him, just like his brother, he makes the problem look like it's not as big as you want to make it look like.
Okay.
I like that about him because a lot of people are constantly pressed about certain things, and he usually knows how to calm a room and his demeanor, and it just
This
shows
comes
up.
with age and experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the party's in.
So going forward, bro, what's the plan, my guy?
I'm
Because now you're in this politics with both your feet,
I'm
right?
gonna stay in there. I'm gonna learn the ropes in ODM. I'm not in a hurry to like make moves. I want to learn this thing because I'm very methodical in the things that I do.
You went to the States for a course?
Yeah,
What was
for a thing. It was a leadership program. It was a leadership program, and I came back again. So it's just one of those things which you do as a young person. Currently, pursuing my studies as I grow in the ranks, meet the party people. Because the thing about politics that we do not understand is, because I'm educated, I think that everybody should reason, should talk, should think, should whatever like me. But then you have to understand that engines of the party are mostly the popular masses, the broad masses of the people, where they're people who just have believed in this course. There are people who've been in this thing for 20 years. There are people who've been in it for 10, for 5, even for a year longer than yourself. So I'm meeting these people. I'm understanding this is what our collective vision for ODM is. And it's a long game for me.
All right.
Yeah, so once I learn about how it is going to go, we have elections coming up at the end of the year. And yeah,
Man.
we'll see how that goes.
No, man, we've been vibing for 2 hours. I think we're gonna
Oh,
close
man.
it up.
Yeah, let's Tafadhali.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I think no, but it's been real, bro. I feel
It's
like
been-
we've gotten to know each other on air,
Yeah,
like
kabisa.
I said earlier,
Kabisa,
because we've never hung
kabisa.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always just known you as a celebrity figure, Okonje. It's
right.
proper. But it's a mad podcast. I really, really love it.
No, cheers,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I've had my time roasting you over here
Mate,
many times, man. Like,
I've seen it, man. You never saw me here, man. I'm usually just like, hey, broski.
so yeah, you're welcome back. I think you should be
yeah.
coming through. We chop it up,
Asante, let's.
once in a while.
Yeah, no worries.
We just see. I see you beefing a lot on Citizen with guys, but not the heck was
No.
going on last time.
You know, this is
bro.
the other thing which I'm always saying.
Yeah?
Typically, I prefer. I respect people who disagree with me. If you're gonna be disrespectful, if you're gonna dish it out, be ready to take.
You're the host who are
I'm
really going at it.
saying, man, there's this guy.
Check it, Kasmuel, wait, Kasmuel.
Kasmuel. Nina ulipo salary nusu wewe. I was saying briefly, if they gave me the chance, I'd have roasted the hell because I was in a room full of a bunch of pretenders.
Why do you call them that though?
I'm telling you this because I know these guys.
Oh, you know them?
I like these guys. There's nothing I don't know about the guys in this movement.
Uh-huh.
So I know them personally. That day, and I remember I was very silent when everybody else was speaking. But KTN guys were very biased. So this guy is called Ian, I think. He comes in and my argument was, so you're here, you're saying it's a commemoration of victims, right? Yeah. The parents and families of victims, whenever they are given the microphone, you tell them briefly. But when it's guys insulting me, you let it go and then you're like,
right.
okay. Once they're done talking. I kept quiet. Now these guys started making it personal. That guy, young dude was over there. The house he lives in, his father built it with government money. Malala was the Secretary General of whatever. You know, the Ngoda that he wears, man. He was bought by Nini, and he comes there calling himself Rex Masai, and his dad, his school fees was paid by government money. A girl was sitting, and this guy has insulted me the whole time. There's like a girl who was sitting next to me, like a heavy tribalist, a guy who celebrated when Mzee died. They said, finally, bash kubwa, sitting here and telling me about liberation. A girl who was behind me, she had some very nasty words. And you'll realize, even when they're heckling, whenever I talk, they will not say wongo. Nah, everything I was saying was true. There's like a guy Uko Nyuma when UGM was going under sexual allegations. They didn't talk, but now they want to talk about me. Even one of the victims' parents, I think they were being very dishonest, and I thought it was very distasteful for her to think she can give me a piece of her mind, because I met her in the Prime Minister's office. She had not come there for some revolutionary exercise. Those niggas had come there because they wanted diplomatic passports. They wanted some shit, some private stuff for themselves, and they wanted to meet the president then. And so she comes and she tells me, I was asking you, why you bought? I'm like, you had not come there for the interest of the country. You'd come there for like personal interest. So like I had dirt on all these people. If those people had left me, there's no way the show was gonna go.
So what's the future looking like for you, young and Nickers? Because
it's gonna be okay. It's teething problems. We're 1.5 years into the game, man. It's just
because eventually there'll be a generational shift.
It will, but it's gonna come in 2032. 2027 will be a tribal election.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's unpopular. It's what people don't want to hear. Tribal arithmetic will trump over whatever arithmetic we think they are. All the metrics are there to show it. So it's just adjusting to the realities.
Yeah.
It's unpopular, but I've just seen how people are reacting, the way people have dealt with the politics of the region. It won't be violent. For certain, it will not be a violent election. But, yeah.
Think you're going to run for president one day?
Who knows? If God wills.
If God wills it!
Inshallah.
How long have you had the afro, bro?
Man, I shaved, I think, earlier, maybe a couple of months ago.
After
It's
Miranda
unkempt
Boys.
kidogo, so no, but I've been shaving. Every month I usually go and get it trimmed and whatnot.
Yeah, man. Alrighty, let me leave your hair, man.
Then good.
Let me get out of your hair.
Get out of my hair.
Wait, guys. Cheers, man.
Yes.
Shout out to everyone in the comment section. I haven't checked what's cutting there.
Yes.
I'm sure guys have many opinions.
I'm telling you.
But I guess I'll review them later. But shout out to you for making the time.
Thanks for having me, brother.
In the evening, I'm going to be here with one more freaker. I have a busy day today.
Ikoneni.
Yeah,
All the best, man.
Be, chopping it up.
Decent guy.
We have 316 nickers watching, man. So shout out to everyone who's been here.
Amazing.
You guys have been awesome, man. I'm going to check out the comments later on, see what you guys had to say. Yeah. But meanwhile, Maze, see you guys in the evening. See you guys on the next one.
Bye-bye. Asante sana, man.